We are obviously here for an hour just before SmackDown. There's not loads to go through. I'm going to be completely honest. There's not loads of news, not loads of things out there. The only preview that we've actually got for tonight is Roman Reigns is going to be on the show. So we know Roman's on the show. And we also know that it's going to be Ridge Holland against Cesaro again. So we've got Roman Reigns in action. We've got Ridge Holland against Cesaro. I'm sure we're going to see Toni Storm and Charlotte Flair, so I'm sure that we're going to get that at some point as well. But, yeah, not loads. Honestly, not loads. I think I'm right in saying as well, they're taping a show tonight. I think they're taping a show straight after this show. So, I mean, after the show finishes, there could be, and there will be, spoilers that come out in regards to next week's show. If I can avoid them, I might try and avoid them because, honestly, I'm not really that bothered by the spoilers. I mean, I ain't really expecting anything massive to happen anyway. And I think I'd much rather just wait and watch next week rather than hunt out spoilers and see what's gone down. So I might try and avoid those. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that there is a recording tonight. Because next week will be the 25th. Is it the 20? It'll be Christmas Eve, won't it? So it'll be the 25th here in the UK, but the 24th where in America, if that's where you are. Yeah, I mean, right now it's 3 minutes past midnight. So right now it is actually the 18th. So that means in a week's time it will be Christmas Day. Now, obviously, there's no show on Christmas Eve. So yeah, they will be recording it tonight. Did you see Roman's new T-shirt? I didn't. No, I haven't. Is it on WWE Shop? Because if so, we can jump over and have a little look. I'll have a look, actually. See what they're doing on WWE Shop. Always worth a little look. I hope everyone is well. There's a Jeff Hardy shirt that's marked down. I've just seen that. That's £5. So, Jeff Hardy shirt's gone down. January theme. Roman Reigns, I don't know what that means. Something to do with Roman. Earn double points on Roman items, is it? I'm just having a look right now at new arrivals. See what's just come in at WWE Shop. As soon as that loads up, then we can have a little jump over and have a look. WWE Rules says, do you think Dolph Ziggler should be WWE Champion? No. I mean, I would have one time, but I think he's been used so badly for... Oh, man, they've got a killer Bobby the Brain Heenan shirt. Oh, right, I'm going to show you this. Hang on, let me answer that question. Loved Dolph. Loved him at Survivor Series 2014 when Sting comes in and Dolph's fighting to keep everyone in a job. Loved all of that. Loved him cashing in his money in the bank. I thought that Dolph Ziggler was just one of the best. I just loved him. I was a real Dolph Ziggler fanboy. And then I would say pretty much ever since that point, it's just been nothing but a downward spiral. I mean, I feel like he's been in the Dirty Dogs for about 10 years now. So, yeah, he's just... Before that, I remember he was with Drew. And, like, that was awful. He's just done awful stuff for so long. He's just, I mean, honestly, and I don't mean this as a disrespect to Dolph, but he is absolutely someone that turns up, gets a paycheck, and goes. And I don't think, you never hear about Dolph going to AEW or anything like this. And I think part of that reason is because he's quite happy to just turn up, get his paycheck, and go. He does a job. He's reliable. You can put him in a tag team. You can put him as a solo star. You can have him mentor someone. He's been there so long. He knows the ropes. He knows not to step on anyone's toes backstage. He knows how to play the game, but he knows how to do it in the ring as well. But, God, does he get the pulse racing? No, not anymore. Not for years and years and years. I mean, it's just... honestly, I think people like Dolph are a massive problem. Because I think that what you want is you want young, hungry stars that when it's their segment, you're excited. Dolph takes up a segment that I am not excited for. Like, if it's a Dolph segment, it's like someone has just poured water all over me and I'm just like, just like not feeling it, you know. I kind of feel that every segment, like you are starting to see that with AEW. AEW go from like a Bryan Danielson segment into a Cody segment, into a CM Punk segment, into a Britt Baker segment, into a Darby Allin segment, into a Kenny Omega segment. Like, you are starting to see AEW now going into, like, you know, these really well-booked shows because they've got the talent to do it. With WWE, they could easily match that, but maybe not across 5 hours. Do you know what I mean? Like, they would struggle to do it across 3, but with the brand split as well, and the fact they've got 5 hours to fill, you do end up with your Dolph Zigglers, and you do end up with your Ridge Holland versus Cesaro. I mean, I just do not care about that match already. So I just kind of feel like, yeah, Dolph definitely was someone that had the audience and that had the support of the audience. But bad booking, man. Bad booking. That is now long gone. Long gone. Right, let's have a look at this WWE Shop stuff. Look at this. So I'm guessing this is the shirt that Miss Clown was talking about. Look, the Needle Mover. Roman Reigns Needle Mover shirt. That's really cool. That kind of suggests that they're really in tune with what people are talking about. Like, the fact that, you know, Roman is a needle mover, and that's what AEW are looking for. I was more excited about that blue Bobby Heenan one, though. Look at that blue Bobby Heenan. You would, in all fairness, I don't think I could wear that to a pub, but if you was going to a wrestling show, I don't think there's a better shirt you could wear. I genuinely don't think there is a better shirt you could wear than that blue Bobby Heenan shirt, because everyone that sees it is going to just smile. Everyone loves Bobby the Brain Heenan. You don't see many of his shirts. It's brilliant. It's perfect. I wouldn't wear it to a pub, but I would absolutely 100,000% wear that if I was going to a wrestling show. I think it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Few Xia Li bits. Guys, The Fiend is coming back. That's confirmed. Yowie wowie. Because there is a pop vinyl here. Look, Christmas pop vinyl, glows in the dark. So that is confirmed. He must be coming back because his pop vinyl is here. And full price as well. So, oh my God, you can get a Bianca Belair ponytail. I know what I want for Christmas. I want an EST ponytail. Oh my God, that is insane. Who knew? Of course they've made that. Of course, I should be more surprised they've never made it before. Who is this as well? Who's this? Who did they get to pose in this mask? Brian, we've got a job for you, mate. Listen, I know you need to go home, but got to ask. Quick little favour. Need you to pose for a picture. I've only got this kind of like bluey shirt on, though. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. And no one will notice. I think Kane probably wore that once anyway. So, yeah, Brian, if you don't mind, if you could just pose for us, yeah? Look, you can tell by his eyes he's thinking, oh, my God. He does not want to be there. He does not want to be there at all. I still can't get over that EST ponytail. That is amazing. Hey, Randy. Hey, Randy. That's the Bella's signature belt that was spoken about last week or so, wasn't it, that we looked at that? That's all right. I wouldn't pay £400 for it. I wouldn't pay £4 for it, but it is nice. I mean, if you are a Bella's fan, it's pretty cool. We're just getting started, Big E. We all know what that should say. Y'all want to go big. That's what that should say. Out of stock Rock posters, which would be, imagine if that was signed. Imagine if that was signed. They had some of them signed. Oh, beautiful. War Games. Grayson Waller effect. What the hell is that? A Nikki ASH mask. Wow. Look at that. A proper Nikki ASH mask. I never saw all this. Oh, look, you can get the Atlanta Braves MLB World Series replica title. So, they do these, like, ones for when people win championships, teams, like the NBA, the MLB, whoever. Look at this, like, now they're actually starting to sell them. with them on, like the actual side plates and everything. That's interesting. I tell you what, the needle mover shirt's really interesting. Bobby Heenan thing's cool. That Bobby Heenan shirt's amazing. Not really bothered by Xylee. That's just, yeah, I don't know. They must have been making that already before he was released, of course. That's hilarious. Although, also quite intriguing. Although it doesn't fit his face. That's my problem. Why get someone and it doesn't quite fit their face? I seem to remember that it was a full face mask. So, like, it's a replica mask, but it doesn't look big enough. For, like, it looks alright there. But, like, on Brian, it sucks. EST ponytail. Hilarious. Rock poster, if it was signed, would be really cool. What else we got? The Nikki mask is interesting. The man sweatshirt. Nah, that sucks. Just have a look at one more page. Because there's more stuff here than I thought. There's been loads of stuff released by the looks of it. I had one of these pillows. They're nice. They're very comfortable. But, yeah, I don't know if I'd get another one. I mean, like, what I need is I need a few behind me. So I'd need a couple. But to be perfectly honest, these pillows, yeah, these pillows things, these are just pillows with, like, this little patch in the corner. They're not really WWE related. Like, apart from that little patch, there's nothing else. Like, maybe if the whole thing was, like, Bianca Belair or something. But it is literally, like, they've just got a pillow and just sewn that little thing in the corner. Like, it strikes me as a little bit lazy. To be honest, to be truthful. Look at this. Bruno Sammartino. Classic Bruno Sammartino. That is nice. I'm going to keep an eye out for when that hits the sale. Lily sucks. China. Look at that. Look at that China. The 9th wonder of the world. China. That's a cool shirt. Hey, I like these. I like that China one. That Charlotte Flair looks amazing. I love that. I love that. That looks really cool. I love these homage shirts. Not a fan of the purple. Becky Lynch. Yeah, that's pretty cool if you're into Becky. That China one. That with some jeans I think would look really cool. That Charlotte Flair. Oh my god. Again, might wait for it to hit a sale. Do you know, they have so many great shirts. So many great. I would totally wear that. I would totally wear that Charlotte one. In fact, I might just buy it. And Mr. T... Nice, okay. Mr. T Bleacher Creature. I mean, that is from, like, WrestleMania 1, WrestleMania 2. How bizarre. How bizarre that, like, Mr. T stuff's coming out now. Like, 30-odd years later. It's a bit weird, isn't it? 2021 SEC Football Championship. No idea what that is. I know I said we'd do just one more, but I want to do one more. There's been some really interesting stuff. Look at these. Santa hats. Needle mover. Have they just chucked, like, loads of stuff on right now? I don't understand. Like, this needle mover's new. Why is it on page 3? Custom first Smackdown. Oh, what? John's first Smackdown. What? So you could have your name where it says custom. Yeah, but you'd have to have gone to Smackdown, wouldn't you? Why would you just order that at home? That doesn't make any sense at all. Nice little sweatshirt there. Yeah, I don't like these custom ones. Maybe they're good for live events, but... zip-up hoodie. Oh, I want to look at another one. There wasn't much there, was there? Oh, that was good, man. That was good. Some good stuff. Really, really interested in that Charlotte t-shirt, man. That Charlotte t-shirt looks amazing. So, really like the look of that. Really like the look of the Charlotte one. I really like the look of the China one. I'm going to wait for the Bruno ones to come down because I have literally just bought a Bruno one. So I'm going to wait for those to go down. But yeah, they do have some really, really good stuff. SEC is college football. Adrian, shout out to you. What WWE matches are there? Not many, buds. Not many. We know of one, and that's it. That's all they've announced. We know that we're going to be getting Ridge Holland versus Cesaro, and we've got Roman Reigns returning tonight. That is it. That is all they've announced. So I do think it hurts the shows. It would be great to sit here and, like, imagine if, like, there was a main event tonight we'd been waiting for. I mean, it can't be that hard for them to do. They have all this TV time and they can't book a main event, like, a week in advance or 2 weeks in advance. Do you know what I mean? Like, why isn't tonight Toni Storm getting an opportunity at Charlotte Flair or something? Anything. I'm sure she will. We just don't know about it yet. We don't deserve to know about it. So, I don't really get that. I don't really get why they don't create a bit of buzz. And, do you know what I mean? Like, I'd love to be sat here going, oh, I can't wait, man. Can't wait for Toni Storm. Like, the build for it has been so good. And tonight, we finally get to see the two of them collide. Do you think they'll, could she drop the title, or perhaps they'll do a rematch for Dayton? Like, I'd love some of this. WWE, if you watch him, it'd be great, wouldn't it? We don't have any of that. No, we're not. We don't deserve it. No fun for us. Why is Mr. T there? 1984 was a long time ago. I didn't think the World Wrestling Federation had the rights to him this long, almost 40 years later. Well, to be truthful, I don't think they did have the rights to him, and I think they just got them. So I think that's why you're starting to see a lot of Mr. T stuff. I think that what makes me say that is that Mattel surely would have made a Mr. T if WWE had the rights. Mattel actually only started making Mr. T, was it like this year? I think they started designing them last year and they came out this year. So that kind of suggests that maybe last year, some point, they actually finally got Mr. T under some kind of a deal. It's very strange, though. It's very, very strange. I don't know why they would have reached out to him now and actually got, like, a deal signed. It is very weird. But he was in the main event of WrestleMania 1. He did compete at WrestleMania 2, so it's cool. But, yeah, it is also a bit strange. I know you're a huge fan of beanies. Why don't you treat yourself to a Hook beanie this Christmas? You should look that up and see what you think, says Daniel. Is it literally just got the word Hook on? Because I saw the shirt, and the shirt is just black, I think, with, like, Hook written across there in, like, it was an alright font. I mean, if you're a fan of fonts. But it wasn't really anything more gripping than that, to be honest. How is Christmas exactly like your job? You do all the work and some fat guy in a suit gets all the credits. Days, do you think the Premier League will be stopped? It's hard to say, but I mean, I heard that Jurgen Klopp said that he doesn't think it should be. He doesn't have the answer, but he doesn't think stopping it is the right way forward. But then there's other people saying that it should be stopped. I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe we're still got 5 games this weekend. So, yeah, I mean, the plan for me is that I'm doing, obviously, Smackdown Rampage tonight. Tomorrow, we've got just one Premier League game. It starts at 4:30. In fairness, I think there's only 2 Premier League games tomorrow anyway. One's at 3 o'clock, and then the other one we'll be doing. So, we're just going to do that one. And then going to go straight into the Jake Paul thing. So, I'm glad you reminded me, actually. If you join us for UFC each weekend, do not panic. Do not panic. We are doing UFC. It starts at 9. Rather than starting a UFC stream, getting right up to the Jake Paul one and then ending UFC and starting a Jake Paul one, I'm just going to do it all under Jake Paul. So, Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley. We will be working our way towards that, and we are absolutely doing that fight. I don't care what else is on at the same time. We are doing that fight. I really want to do the co-main as well with Serrano against Gutierrez. And actually, I've been, watching quite a bit of, like, the weigh-ins, the press conferences, some of the interviews. I've got, like, all my notes together. I'm in a really good place, actually, with preparation for tomorrow. So, I've got all my notes and everything for UFC. I've got all my notes and everything for Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley. We're doing both. But I ain't going to do 2 separate streams. Let's just do one big, giant daddy stream tomorrow, 9 o'clock, UFC, into Jake Paul, and we'll just go straight the way through. That way, ain't got to end anything, start something later, have the UFC overlap in the start of Jake Paul, because that's the danger. It looks like UFC ends after the Jake Paul stream starts. Not by much, but enough where it's like, So we're going to do that. So yeah, tomorrow, 9 o'clock. It's already set up on the channel. Make sure you drop a like on it. We're going to be like hunting tomorrow. I really want to get like 1,000 likes on that stream. I need to try and get 1,000 likes on that stream. That's our last big stream of this year. I mean, there is nothing else after this. There's no other big streams. There's no other WWE pay-per-view in 2021. There's no AEW pay-per-view that's coming in 2021. There's no other UFC shows. Or in fact, all the UFC shows actually stop. So, yeah, tomorrow is a big deal for the channel. It's the last big stream of the year, tomorrow. And then we've still got wrestling. Yes, we're still going to be doing Raw, SmackDown, all that stuff. But there's no more UFC. There's no more. And Premier League might be getting shut down as well, so it's all full on drama. So, yeah, if you are able to, drop a like on that, or drop a like on it tomorrow if you do join us. But super excited for that. I was watching the sit-down with Ariel Helwani with Woodley and Jake Paul, and, it's good. It's really good. He gives him a Rolex watch. Jake Paul gave Woodley a Rolex watch, and he said, I'm giving you this because it's time. Like, your career's done. Like, it's time. I'm going to be knocking you out tomorrow. And it's time for you to go. And so he gave him, like, this Rolex watch. Woodley was like, I don't care why you're giving it to me, but thanks a lot. He was loving it. So, yeah, Woodley was very happy. So there's loads we can talk about with that, but we'll save it for tomorrow. Days, we're going to turn the stream up tomorrow, said Mixed Partial Farts. Shout out to you, buds. I already dropped that like, said Gary. I really appreciate it, man. As we say, it's our last one. It's our last one of the year. I never ask for them on like SmackDown ones or Raws or anything like that, because it's annoying, isn't it? Even I know it's annoying. Like, I see other channels where they're just like asking for likes a lot, and like, you get it. Like, it's not a problem, but yeah, I don't do it. I don't do it. I don't care. But when it comes to those big ones, like, I've seen the difference that it makes. I know that it makes a difference. Where, like, if you can appear in the top, like, 10, 15 videos, it makes a massive difference. If you don't get enough likes, you could be number 30 on a list of stuff. And if you're down, no one ain't finding you down there. So, yeah, it does make a big difference. Every present I give this Christmas will say from Wrestling Claws, says William. William, shout out to you. Hammer Studios, hello. Kevin said, do you think Kevin deserves a title opportunity? Do you mean yourself, Kevin? Are you talking about yourself? Do I think you deserve a title opportunity? I mean, all I'm going to say, Kevin, is if you was getting a title opportunity tonight, I would be excited. So, Kevin, shout out to you. Wrestle with Andy said, do you think we'll see Shotzi tonight? Do you know, it's a really good point. Where has Shotzi gone? What has happened with that feud between her and Sasha? Don't feel like we've seen anything in a little while in regards to that. So, yeah, I don't know. I genuinely don't know what's happening there. So, I'm gonna say that they are gonna do something with her. Whether we see it tonight or it gets recorded for next week, I would imagine they will use her tonight at some point. Just we might not see her because I believe it is the live SmackDown first and then the taped SmackDown afterwards. WWE Rules said, do you want to see The Undertaker have one more match because he might be there in Dallas? I don't mind Undertaker having one more match. If he does, I wouldn't do it as the dead man because we've said goodbye to him. So it would have to be more Mark Calloway. I don't mind him being like the American badass, but it can't be like the slow walk to the ring and everything, because what the hell was all that at Survivor Series? Like, we said goodbye to him, like it's done. So to go back on that would just be a bit lame. It was such a big, farewell with like the Paul Bearer hologram and everything, like, do you know what I mean? It was a big deal, that. So, no, I don't want to see a dead man match, but I don't mind seeing like an American badass match. And to be honest, might upset people. He's got to lose. He's got to lose. The tradition is you go out on your back, you lose your final match, you give back to the industry. I have no interest in seeing The Undertaker winning his final match. Like, I don't care who it's against. We could have loads of great conversations as to who would make a good opponent, but for me, he goes out losing. It's a little niggle that I've got with The Undertaker's career, is that his last match is the Boneyard, and he wins it. He wins it. He beats AJ. Like, and he literally buries AJ. He literally buries AJ. So, yeah, it's just tradition. Tradition is that you should go out on your back. And for someone that's been as ingrained in wrestling as what The Undertaker was, you would imagine that he would want to have done that. You would imagine that he would want to have given back and lost that final match. To be honest, I don't think that this was planned out. I think The Undertaker has had the Boneyard match. He's won it. I don't think at that point is like, yeah, I'm done. I think that he's still at that point maybe thinking about, am I done? And it's got to the point where it's obvious that he is. And so he said to Vince, yeah, look, it's done. It's done. And Vince has been like, right, cool. Let's wrap it up then. Let's do what we did at Survivor Series, you know? So I don't think there's no malice or anything calculated or Undertaker refusing to lose his final match or anything like this. I just don't think that it was structured that way. I just don't think that it was like part of the thought process. So if he does have one more, that would be part of the thought process because he's coming back for one more match. And honestly, he's got to lose it. Look how Johnny Gargano left NXT. Got beaten up by Grayson Waller. Now, you can say that it sucked because it did. It wasn't done well. But he gave back. You know, Grayson Waller now is being portrayed as this massive heel. Everyone hates him. He beat up Johnny Gargano as Gargano was leaving. So, you know, it was just a way of Johnny just giving back to the industry as he was going out the door. And, you know, I mean, like Kurt obviously lost his final match to Baron Corbin. You can go down a list of people. It's always been a little tradition. So I don't mind him coming back. But he would have to put over like Finn Balor, or he'd have to put over like someone as he had that last match. But that could be cool. I mean, I'll be down for it. I totally expect him to go into the Hall of Fame, though, because the next WrestleMania is at Texas, so I expect him to go into the Hall of Fame. I think the year after we're at Hollywood's. I think The Rock will have his match there. I don't know who goes into the Hall of Fame then, to be honest. I don't know if they'd put The Rock in the Hall of Fame and have him in the main event. I don't know if they'd do both. They could do. Why not? But, yeah, I think there's a good chance Undertaker goes into the Hall of Fame next year. It just makes sense, doesn't it? Just makes sense. Corbin retired a gold medalist. James Chadwick said, I saw reports earlier the Briscoes have apparently signed with AEW. I don't know if it's true, but I hope that it is. Megan said, Days, what are your thoughts on Undertaker Batista at Survivor Series 2007? I loved it. To be honest, I get some of the matches confused, so I'd have to go back and rewatch it. But, I mean, I do remember them having a feud and having a fair few matches, a few feuds. So, yeah, difficult for me to recall exactly which match that was. But, to be honest, I can't remember any Undertaker Survivor Series matches that really, like, underwhelmed me. It's not jumping out where it was like, oh, that was trash or anything like this. So, yeah, I mean, I'd have to just go with I thought it was decent because certainly nothing about it that's making me go, oh, no, it was garbage or they botched the finish or there's nothing that's standing out as being, like, a problem, you know? It's not like, you know, the main event of WrestleMania 35 that stands out because I'm really not sold the finish on that was correct. I'm really not sold that. Oh, I didn't know that did that. There's a button here that'll actually change it. I never knew that did that. That is amazing. That is amazing. That is amazing. Learning things. Be right back, no worries. I watched Young Rock Christmas Special. It's a good episode, says Matthew. Edward said, hello, Days. Fun fact, Liverpool made history yesterday by becoming the first ever club to win 2,000 top flight games. Edward, shout out to you. MJF was a former Tough Enough guy, so already has history with WWE, but I doubt he would go back. Yeah, that's a rumor that's doing the rounds, isn't it? I mean, honestly, I think that MJF would look at WWE and think, I could be a small fish in a big pond if I go there. No disrespect to MJF, but right now, he is a big fish in a small pond, right? There's not many AEW originals that are kind of, right up there. Yes, you've got the likes of Powerhouse Hobbs and people along those lines, but it's probably, we're talking about the four pillars. We're talking about Sammy, we're talking about Darby, we're talking about Britt, we're talking about MJF, in that conversation. So he's right up there with being like one of the leading AEW originals. And then you've got like the next level down. So he is a big fish in a small pond because, okay, they've got CM Punk, they've got Kenny, they've got Cody, they've got all these people, but MJF has been booked very well. He's, he's red hot as well at the moment. He's in a feud with CM Punk. He's guaranteed that they are going to use him and use him well, use him regular and use him well. If he goes to WWE, he runs the risk of being used in stupid segments, then spending a bit of time in catering, then going after the flipping 24/7 belt or something like there's just, he knows what he's going to get with AEW. I think the only way that he goes to WWE is short contract, assurance that he's going to be used in a meaningful feud and going to be at WrestleMania. If he goes, it's because he wants to tick off WrestleMania off the bucket list, maybe the Royal Rumble off the bucket list, potentially being a WWE champion off the bucket list, and he'd have to be getting paid serious money in order for him to go. And honestly, I said before, that would not be the worst thing for AEW either. If MJF was to go to WWE for 2 years, maybe 3, and used regular, was on TV all the time, was being pushed towards the title in title pictures, main event in WrestleMania, really being, one of the main stars on WWE. As soon as this 2-3 year contract is up, if he goes back to AEW, man, that's huge for AEW. That's massive. There's a reason why Kevin Owens has just been locked down to a multi-million-year contract, because he's used on TV all the time. He is a WWE guy now, he's definitely someone that is used on TV a lot. He's in and around the title picture. If he goes to AEW, he's a WWE guy. He is someone that gets used on TV a lot, and they don't want to be letting those people go. I mean, Keith Lee was released, but he's missed quite a bit of this year through injury. Carrion was released, but he'd only just been called up from NXT. And NXT, I'm sorry, only gets, 550? 600,000? Compared to Raw that gets 1.5, 6, 7, 8, something like that. It's a different ballpark. So, those names that were released, yes, you can pick out a few like Braun, like Bray, but even Bray wasn't really used much this year, was he? I mean, he missed a lot of this year. But he's still a big name. People knew of him. There's no denying that. And he's definitely someone that would move the needle for them. I still expect him to go over there, but there seems to be a little bit more to the Bray one, doesn't there? Than them just going, yeah, we don't want you anymore. I think it's, falling out with Vince and all of this. But anyway, cutting a long story short, MJF, if he went to WWE, had a good run, and then went back to AEW, that's huge for AEW. That's great for AEW. And honestly, they can cope a few years without MJF. I mean, he's so young, you can easily cope a few years without MJF, and he comes back an even bigger star. Fake Ross Vape said Vince is waiting to bury an AEW guy like TNA. Have you seen that Tony announced that the Owen Hart Cup is going to be a male and female tournament? I believe Serena has got a good chance of winning it with how much Owen and Brett inspired her style. She does come across like a heart, doesn't she? She does come across like a heart. James Chadwick said, there's rumours that Sammy has also re-signed with WWE, but nothing official. If I was MJF going to WWE, I'd have it written in my contract to win the Rumble and main event WrestleMania, win or lose. Yeah, I definitely could see it being something like that. I mean, I don't think he will go just for money. Yes, money is, obviously a factor, but I don't, and I think WWE might even offer him more. But I don't think that he would want to run the risk. I don't think he'd want to run the risk of going 2-3 years being in a 24/7 flipping title picture and being sitting around in catering and having to do awful storylines. So I just don't think he'd want to run that gamble, even if the money was that little bit more. So I think he would want some assurances like that. I agree. Man United aren't going to win the title this season, said James. They've got a lot of sorting out to do. I'm not sure they'll squeeze into the Champions League. Do you think Man U will win a trophy this season? Well, they ain't winning the Premier League. They ain't going to win the Champions League. That only leaves, really, the FA Cup. So can Man United win the FA Cup? Can Man United win the FA Cup? I mean, they would potentially have to get past Liverpool or Man City. I mean, maybe Liverpool, Man City end up facing each other, and then we have to face them in the final. I mean, it's hard to say, isn't it? I think, could Man United win the FA Cup? Yes. Leicester won it last year. So could Man United win it this year? Yes. Do I think they're going to? Probably not. Probably not, and I don't expect them to win the Champions League, and they ain't winning the Premier League. So I think that if you're a Man United fan, you kind of have to prepare yourself for this being another season without a trophy, but I don't think that's a problem, because I think there's a lot of excitement around, what's coming next. I'm excited to see who we get in January, who we bring in. I'm excited to see what Ralph Rangnick's going to do, and I'm excited to see if we get someone like Ten Hag in the summer or... So, yeah, I'm not too focused on this season. I think this season was done for me when Ollie went, to be honest. When Ollie went, that was it. What have you gotten the community for Christmas? This stream. Do you think the AEW game will be a success? Do I think the AEW game will be a success? Do I think the AEW game will be a success? Yes, I do. I think that it will do very well. I think that it's going to get rave reviews. I think they've spent a lot of time on it. I think they've spoken to wrestling fans and tried to really figure out what wrestling fans want. The fact that we were getting updates and we're hearing that it's been based on some of those classic wrestling games like No Mercy, the old Smackdown games, Here Comes the Pain, things along those lines. Got to think that they've looked at those mechanics, they've looked to see what they can learn from and bring into 2022 into the modern gaming world. And, I think the foundation is going to be really strong. I think they've got really interesting characters. I think they're going to have a great roster. I fully expect that game to get really great reviews. I will be shocked if that game does rubbish. And the thing is, I think wrestling fans will go and buy it. And I think if the game does get enough buzz, it's one of those games that's like Game of the Month or whatever it might be, and everyone's talking about it. It's like, look, if you want a really good wrestling game, there hasn't been one around for a while. If you want a really good wrestling game, AEW have just dropped one. And it might just capture people's attention and imagination. And I do. I think that game will do well. Of course, 2K22 is going to, really grab headlines as well. But I don't know. I've got a feeling that 2K22 is going to go more in depth. And I don't know that AEW's game will go as far. But I think from a playability, gameplay point of view, the AEW game might be better. I just really like what they're basing it on. I like that they're having to start from scratch. There's no code that's got to be tweaked or anything like this. Like, they can literally build it from the ground up, which is going to take a long time. And there could be a few things that ultimately they do tweak going forwards. But I think it's going to be there or thereabouts. I expect it to be a very, very good game. Jim said, I want to see the creation suite in the AEW game. AEW have got Chris Denker and other wrestling game YouTubers working with them on the game. Great Champ said, who do you think Roman will drop the title to? I'm worried that it's going to be someone like Brock, to be honest, at WrestleMania, and I don't want it to be that because I don't think Brock needs that. He's already beaten the Undertaker's streak. He's already as big as he's going to be. Brock doesn't get any bigger by beating Roman. He's as big as he's going to be. So let's use beating Roman to really build someone up. Like, you know, it'd be brilliant for a Bron Breakker. It would have been brilliant for a Karrion Kross. You know, it would be brilliant for those. But it would have been brilliant for a Finn Balor. But it's none of them. So I'm worried it'll be a Brock. I'm hoping that it's going to be someone else. You know, I don't know who. I can't give you a name. Because I'm actually quite surprised at the draft. I mean, if you look at the SmackDown roster, it's not screaming with names of people that could beat Roman. I mean, honestly, if Nakamura was to drop Boogs, because I flipping can't stand that, if he was to drop Boogs, get serious, like Nakamura could have been a really good chat. Imagine Nakamura as like a flipping assassin. Like, he's fun backstage, but, like, if things need to be dealt with, like, he deals with it. Kind of like, you know, the jokey older brother to the locker room, whatever, you know. He's having a laugh with everyone, but, like, if you hurt one of his friends, he's going to flip out and murder you. Like, that you could have done something there. I just don't think they believe in Nakamura. Just don't get the feeling that they want to go that way, and I don't know if it's because he can't speak English. I can only presume it is that, to be honest. But that could have been interesting. But I don't think they'll go that way. A lot of people want to see it be Seth. That could be cool. Sammy should beat Roman, says Jim. Days, do you think AEW having Bryan draw to both Kenny and Hangman is setting up a rematch for the title, but for it to be a triple threat for the belt with Kenny, Bryan, and Hangman? I hope not. I'm not a fan of triple threats, personally, so that's not a match I would want to see. I would much rather just see one-on-one matches. I mean, in all fairness, Bryan drawing with Kenny when he was champion doesn't really matter now that Hangman's champion. Like, I don't really see how that connects it. So I don't think we're going to go that way. Could do, but I'm not getting the vibe we're going that way. And plus, I don't really get how that would work. Like, we drew when you was champion, and you've just drawn with him, so let's do a triple threat. Doesn't really work, does it? So, and plus also, isn't Kenny away for a little while now? I think Kenny's still away for a little bit, so I don't think we're heading that way. Rest with Andy said, I feel like Lashley is a wild card pick to beat Roman at some point. That's a good shout. Current day WWE champion has to be great on the mic, good to decent in ring, and a fluent speaker. Well, I would disagree with that. Only because I think you could put a manager with him. I mean, if you think like Brock hardly did any talking with Paul Heyman, so, I mean, he could have been speaking any language under the sun, Brock, and we wouldn't have known because Heyman did all the talking. So you could easily just put a manager with Nakamura, and Nakamura could then, you know, go and do some go and do his killing. They won't do it, but I mean, Nakamura is an IWGP champion in Japan. It's hard to believe now, but Nakamura was a massive star in New Japan. And when he came in with real fanfare. He went down to NXT because not many people know about Nakamura, or they didn't feel like many people knew. So he went down to NXT, he won the NXT title, and everything was going well. When he came in, I think he debuted at Backlash, and there was real buzz around him. He was on the poster and everything. And it's not a bad little feud that he has with AJ Styles. And that was around, WrestleMania 34? I feel like there's been just a few times where we've kind of flirted with the idea of Nakamura in the main event, but it feels now like we've definitely settled on it's just not going to happen anymore. But put him with the manager, I wouldn't mind that. How many quality mic managers are there in current day? Well, yeah, true. I mean, there's not loads. You've got MVP. You've got, obviously, Heyman. I can't see Heyman managing Nakamura, but there's got to be people around. There's got to be an opportunity. You got Malcolm Bivens down in NXT. Imagine if he just arrived with Nakamura. That could be interesting. Be a great way as well to start thinking about introducing Diamond Mine to the main roster as well. I mean, Ivy Nile's a killer. Creed brothers look good. Roderick Strong. Rumours are he's signed. Someone was saying the other day it looks like he might have signed for a while. So Malcolm Bivens isn't the worst shout. I wouldn't mind that. Edward said, I've done my research for the first time for UFC. Thoughts? I don't know what you want me to say. Well done. Well done. MVP is good on the mic with Bobby Lashley. Days, do you want Okada versus Roman? Oh, yeah, well, I'd love that match, but I don't think we ever get it. I don't think we'll ever get New Japan stars coming into WWE. Apparently, Nick Khan was talking to New Japan about it, but those talks never went anywhere, so... Dalmar said Meltzer reported AEW couldn't match WWE's offer for Kevin Owens. Could it be that with so many signees, Tony and an over-the-limit budget doesn't want to bid too high? I just don't think... I should imagine that Tony has got a number in mind that he's now looking to work to. He's not going to go crazy, and nor should he. I think Kevin Owens would have been a great signing. And again, you could say would move the needle, but look, this is a company that's got Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson. It's got CM Punk. I mean, if CM Punk ain't moving the dial, ain't nothing moving the dial. So you've got Bryan Danielson, CM Punk. Obviously, you already had Kenny and Cody. You've Adam Cole's come over. There's enough. There's enough there. Like, really, a Kevin Owens is, yes, if you can get him, you get him. But I don't think you need to break the bank. I don't think you need to push beyond what you think is a respectable, reasonable offer. And, Tony had a number in mind. He went for it. And WWE, I think they wanted to keep Kevin. And so I think WWE may have gone over what they normally would. I think they probably have gone above and beyond. So in many ways, Tony Khan has made WWE pay more than what they would normally. So, it is what it is. I don't think it's a sign that Tony has overspent and that things are falling apart. I don't think it's a sign of that. I just think it's a sign that Tony now is probably just looking at people going, this is the number. Take it or leave it, because he's got a show that is, doing, fine in the ratings, steady in the ratings, but I think we've got a much better idea now that whilst he's on TNT or TBS, he's only going to get X amount. Until you go to a bigger network, you're only going to draw X amount. I mean, if CM Punk ain't going to do it, and you can say, okay, CM Punk was off TV for like 7 years, so what about someone that's on TV every week? Well, Bryan Danielson was on TV every week. So if CM Punk ain't doing it, if Bryan Danielson ain't doing it, if Adam Cole ain't doing it, I mean, that's it. I mean, you've got your answer in it. I mean, at the moment, there ain't nothing that's going to get you up to Raw levels whilst you're on TNT. You're going to need to change network. So it's not bad for AEW. AEW are building, they're growing. It'd be interesting if another network was to come in for them. That's what they need to do, really. They need to make themselves as appealing as possible. And I don't know if Tony can talk to other networks, but if he can get onto a different network, a bigger network, that's when a real wrestling war would start. That's when things would really kick off. That's when WWE would have real problems. Right now, I do agree they're an alternative. They're not really competition because they're not on the same night. And, at the moment, they're not. I don't even think they're getting to 1 million, are they, in their views at the moment? But saying that, that's no knock of AEW. All the ratings are down at the moment. Raw on Monday only did 1.5. I would imagine tonight's SmackDown is only going to do, 2. Something like that. I don't think it'll get to the 2.3 it normally is. I think it'll be down on that a little. Just because at this time of year it tends to be. Although, the only thing I would say is that Roman's back. So, will that give things a little boost? Don't know. I would let Woods take the Intercontinental off Nakamura. Someone needs to take the Intercontinental off Nakamura. Because they just ain't booking the Intercontinental, which means we haven't seen Nakamura in any feuds. They've just literally put the Intercontinental belt on him and left him. So, yeah, it's not great for him or the title. Right now, Impact has lasted longer than ECW and potentially WCW, says Defcon Prime Eric DeRiggi. Days, why did Bryan Danielson leave WWE? Did he want to leave? Yeah, well, I mean, I think he was relatively happy, but I think that he has got a limited shelf life. He came back to wrestling, and, he's kind of done a lot of the matches that I think he wanted to do in WWE. And now he wants to. I think there's people in New Japan he really wants to face. I've heard that he really wants to face Zack Sabre Jr. So he really wants that match. And I think the Kenny match, Kenny Omega. I think the thing with Daniel Bryan is he is a real wrestler. He isn't doing this for just money. He's doing this because he loves wrestling. He is a wrestler. So for him, there's dream matches out there that he wanted, and WWE couldn't get him those dream matches. I heard that that's why they were talking to New Japan. I heard they were trying to talk to New Japan so that they could then turn around to Bryan Danielson and say, look, we've got New Japan. We can bring in Okada. We can bring in Naito. We can bring in Suzuki and all this kind of stuff. So I heard that's why they did it. But they couldn't get that over the line. They couldn't get it done. And so I think Danielson decided that he really wanted those matches. And so, yeah, he left. But WWE 100,000% did not want him to leave. Absolutely did not want him to leave. Bryan at the moment is on a different level. No style. He needs to stick to just, and he's good at the moment. Lone Star Friend, shout out to you. Heather said, yes, AEW is going to TBS in January, but only Dynamite. Harley said, Days, I like Earth. Thoughts? It's all right. It's a bit overrated. I reckon there's probably better out there. But it's, are we going to ever find it? Who knows? Apparently there's lots of Earth-like planets. But they're, crazy long way away. So just got to work with what we've got, mate. Knoxville, Tennessee, back in the house, says Bobby. Great to see everyone again. Shout out to Knoxville. Hope you are well. Days, would Conor the Crusher approve of Danielson leaving WWE? I cannot speak for Conor the Crusher. But considering how big of a Daniel Bryan fan he was, I would imagine Conor the Crusher would be happy if Danielson was happy. So, as a fan of Bryan Danielson and a fan of the Yes Movement, I would imagine he would have been supportive of him doing whatever he wanted. Days, Roman is going to kick off tonight's show. Days is speaking facts, says Harley. Shola said, Days, acknowledge me. Shola, shout out to you. The community is head of the table. Mark said, Earth is just too flat for me. I totally get that, dude. I'm so... Every day I hear of people falling off the edge. I totally get that. Megan said, fun fact, I have now added up 1,696 of the videos. The total time is 19,508 minutes and 80,198 seconds. It's Alex, by the way. You've added up how many of the videos? 1,000 what? You have added up 1,696, and it results in 19 and a half. What is that? Jeez. 19,500 minutes. Let's just go with that. Divided by 60. That is 325 hours. 325 hours. 98. 8198 divided by 60. Well, it's a lot. Let's put it that way. It's a lot. 1,336 minutes divided by 60. 22 hours. So you're probably talking about 400 hours, basically. Out of what? The first 1,000. Well, good luck with the rest of it, because you're probably going to start hitting stream territory. No, that's crazy, man. Shout out to you. That's crazy. I can't wait to see what Roman is going to do tonight. It's going to be good. Just Alex said, when I found the channel, I thought Austin was Wrestling Days and that he just used that account to talk to us. No. I wouldn't be that cringe, would I? I mean, come on. I'm a cool guy. Do you know what I mean? I think you would have told. I think you would have realised eventually. Days, what is your Mount Rushmore, including WWE, AEW, and New Japan Pro Wrestling? What, like the greatest wrestlers ever? It's the most difficult, isn't it? I mean, like, I feel like you've got to go Antonio Inoki for what he did in Japan. I mean, you could go Ricky Dozan, because Ricky Dozan is the person that really kind of brought wrestling over to Japan. And then he trained Antonio Inoki and Giant Baba. So, but for me, Antonio Inoki, I've seen more of his matches. I haven't seen much of Ricky Dozan. But I totally acknowledge that Ricky Dozan probably deserves to be on a Mount Rushmore. Like, if you're talking about most important, then I think you'd probably go with El Santo in Mexico, Ricky Dozan in Japan, Luthez for the US, and then you might also have to go Ric Flair. You might, for the more modern kind of times, you might have to go with Ric Flair. So El Santo, Ricky Dozan, Luthez, Ric Flair. If you was going to jazz it up a little bit, and you could go Antonio Inoki instead of Ricky Dozan. And, well, I don't know, I feel like El Santo definitely deserves to be on there. Yeah, I'd probably go with that. There ain't no one in AEW that's getting in that list, I can tell you. And no disrespect to AEW, but they've only been going a couple of years. So there ain't no one that's getting on a Mount Rushmore. Minoru Suzuki, says James Chadwick. Jim Ross podcast talked about Chris Jericho winning both bouts, beating The Rock and Stone Cold. Next week he talks about Stone Cold, says Matthew. It's time. It is time. Here we go then, friends. The King of Kings. Let's see what's going to go down on Smackdown Town. Okay, so we're seeing what happened last week. I'm guessing we're going to start with Roman. I'm going to type it. I'm feeling confident. You might remember last week that Paul Heyman started getting, like, reigning defending. He started really going off, didn't he? He's going to have to explain that now, isn't he? Days, I love Bryan Danielson as a heel. He's so much better as a heel in AEW than in WWE. He's better as a face because he has a character. Do you agree? I slightly disagree because I don't know that what is his character right now? Like, in WWE, his character when he was a heel was that he was, the planet's champion. And he was standing up for the planet, and he was all about recycling. And, the championship was made out of recyclable material. Do you remember he had the wood WWE championship was made of wood and recyclable stuff. So that kind of felt like a character. Now he's just, it's just Bryan Danielson, really. He's just the American Dragon. I mean, what I like about what he's doing now, I don't disagree that he's better. I agree that he is better. So I do think he's better, but I think he's better because he's just stripped it back. He's not doing any characters, really. He's just himself. He just is Daniel Bryan. Yes, okay, he's healing it up right now. But really, this is what you got in Ring of Honor. This is the American Dragon. So this is what he was doing on the indie scene. He's kind of gone back to, who he was, what he was. And it's brilliant. But he was brilliant before he came into WWE. He was then brilliant in WWE. And now he's being brilliant again. So, yeah, he will go down as one of the greats. He will go down as one of the best ever. I mean, he's so good that the Wrestling Observer have, I think, is it Most Technical Wrestler Award is named after Bryan Danielson. They changed the name of the award. It's the Bryan Danielson Award. And this was years ago. Years ago, they changed it because of what he was doing on the indie scene. He just kept winning it year after year after year after year after year. Right, we're seeing Heyman waiting for Roman. Maybe we're not starting with Roman. Day 1 is, 2 weeks away? We're in Chicago. Did you have a chance to listen to Cornette's thoughts on Hook's debut? I know you listen to him once in a while. I didn't, no. I didn't. In fairness, that's not one that I would listen to. Because I'm not bothered, really, about what he thinks about Hook's debut. Because if he likes it, I liked it. If he doesn't like it, I think he's wrong. So, it's not one that I would listen to. I like to listen to Jim Cornette when it comes to more history pieces, things that I don't know about. He's very good when it comes to NWA, because obviously he was in it, and early WCW. And obviously, he talks about his time in WWE as well. So, if ever I do listen to Jim Cornette, I tend to listen to him for those reasons. It's boss time! Days, what I was saying is in WWE, I preferred him as a face, but it got boring. In AEW, his character he's a crazy guy who likes to beat people up, and I love his heel side. I don't get that he's a crazy guy. I don't get that, to be honest. I love him in AEW. Right, Shotzi making her way down. I mean, he doesn't come across as crazy. He doesn't come across as unhinged. The reason why he was beating up the Dark Order was because he was doing it to make a point and wind up Hangman. I mean, as a heel, he's just doing heel things, really. But he's doing it in a logical way. I don't think he's crazy. But he was attacking the Dark Order to get to Hangman, basically. Wind up Hangman and make sure Hangman gave him that opportunity and that he was on Hangman's radar. I mean, it's good stuff. I've got nothing bad to say about it at all. We've got a tag match here, This is going to be, Sasha and Tony versus Charlotte and Shotzi. It's, no promo to start the show. We're actually starting the show with the women's tag match. Charlotte should not be champion. Daisy, you streaming Parker Chisora too? No. I would if there was nothing else on. But my focus is on UFC and going straight into Jake Paul. So, no, there's no way that I can shoehorn in Chisora Parker. If a tree falls and no one's around to hear it, does Kevin Nash break his squads? Yes. What bigger networks are out there for Tony Khan? Because he's got a strong relationship with TNT. It's risky going to a network that could cancel the show. Well, I mean, he's brought in CM Punk. He's brought in Bryan Danielson. He's brought in Ruby Soho. I mean, think of everyone he's brought in. His biggest rating, I think I'm right in saying, is still the debut episode of Dynamite. So Dynamite's debut episode, I think, did about 1.4. They've not beaten that. So I know they've got close to it, but they've only got close to it a couple of times. It feels like, I mean, we see the difference it makes. Look at what happens when SmackDown is on Fox compared to when it goes on to FS1. Like, if the product is good and the product is hot, then companies will stick with it. You know, I mean, they won't get onto USA, they won't get onto Fox. My knowledge of other networks is not great, obviously, because I'm not in America. But I know ESPN was mentioned before. But look, this is the big boy world. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's going to want to accept AEW just getting less than 1 million in the ratings for the next 5 years, and it seems unlikely that those ratings are going to grow on the TNT network, because it's been 2 years now and they've done a lot of stuff and they ain't getting them ratings. Like, right, I think consistently now it's actually about 850,000. That's only a couple of 100,000 more than what NXT is getting. So I don't know what the other networks are. I'm going to throw out ESPN. There could be other networks. I'm sure there are other networks that would be viable alternatives. But for as long as they're on TNT/TBS, I don't think TBS is that much better. It kind of feels like they're very limited in what their reach is going to be, because they're only in certain homes. They need to get in as many homes as possible, and I think being resistant to that because you might get cancelled, well, this is the world, isn't it? I mean, if you do get cancelled, maybe you could end up going back to TNT anyway. And who knows, because in this day and age, I mean, Peacock might spend a load of money on Taker. I mean, Peacock spent $1 billion getting the WWE network. Could Peacock snap up AEW? Could Apple TV take AEW? Could Netflix take AEW? Could Disney Plus take AEW? I mean, there's so many streaming outlets and there's so many places screaming for content that I don't think it's a problem. I think if you are creating regular content that people tune into and you've got a dedicated fan base, I think you're laughing right now. You're absolutely laughing. Because there's so many companies out there screaming for it. Everyone is battling to get your attention. Everyone is battling to draw in those fan bases. Sasha goes down. The other thing as well is that obviously TV's changing, innit? I mean, ratings going down like this, so 5 years time, who knows? Who knows where the viewerships are going to be? Tony has got Charlotte over the back, plants Charlotte down. I mean, Tony is a very good wrestler. Shotzi comes in, makes the save. Shotzi with Tony throws Tony out the ring. So Sasha is down outside the ring, and Shotzi is down outside. No, Storm is down outside. Shotzi is in the ring. He spelled Charlotte wrong. I heard AEW will be streaming pay-per-views on HBO Max. I haven't heard that. I think they're taping next week's SmackDown tonight. They are, yes. Days, Booker T's slip-up is the funniest moment in wrestling history. I don't know. Don't know what the funniest moment is in wrestling history. I do love Titus World Slide. I'm a big fan of that. Tony is amazing. Why did she not get an entrance? That is cringe, says to Boy. We mostly use streaming services and an antenna for free local channels in my house. Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting how it's all changing. There's a lot of people that are looking at like ratings and saying that wrestling's dead and all of this, but I mean, if you look at how much like wrestling trends on Twitter, which I know, you can take it with a pinch of salt, but it does. Do you know what I mean? Like, whenever there's a big show, it's not like no one's talking about it. Like, it trends on Twitter. WWE have got one of the biggest YouTube channels out there, and just look at the amount of regular views they get. I mean, I don't even know how many subs are up to now. My guess would be, 80-odd million? 70, 80 million subs? I mean, they are one of the biggest channels on YouTube. I have no idea about their Instagram and TikTok and whatnot, but I'm guessing it's not bad. I'm guessing it's right up there. So, yeah, I kind of feel like they are... doing all right. They're doing all right. Okay, people aren't going to the shows. I mean, we've all seen those empty arenas and whatever, but it's been that way for a long time. It has been that way, and maybe COVID's playing a little part. I just don't know that there's really the storylines to like get people to come out and go into the arenas. There's definitely... I'm not saying this is a red hot period, because it isn't. This isn't the Attitude Era, right? It's not a red hot period, but I don't think it's as bad as what the ratings makes it seem, Because I just think that a lot of people consume... I think part of the problem is that the shows, you don't need to watch them because a lot of them are rubbish. A lot of the show is rubbish. You can actually catch up with YouTube videos. You can actually catch up with TikToks and whatever, yeah, just reading on WWE.com. I think there is an interest in wrestling, but I don't think the product is good enough to really be bringing people in to watch 3 hours of it. It's a big commitment, that 5 hours of WWE every week is a big commitment. And then you've got 3 hours of AEW. I mean, that's 8 hours of just watching wrestling a week. If you go to work, come back, you're going to have to spend 8 hours of your free time watching wrestling. There are people, obviously, I'm guessing most of you do it, but that's a lot to ask the average person. So I don't know if there's maybe a bit too much wrestling out there. I don't know if there's maybe a bit too much WWE. I mean, don't forget, following WWE before, what was that? It was 4 pay-per-views a year. Or when you had In Your House, it went up to, 8 pay-per-views a year or something? Basically Raw. As long as you were watching Raw, you were good. Whereas now it's Raw, SmackDown, monthly pay-per-views, a network that's full of stuff as well. So, yeah, there's just a lot in there. And then AEW on top. There's just a lot of stuff. So, I don't know. Perhaps there's quite a bit to watch. Perhaps there's a bit of burnout. Perhaps there's viewing habits changing. Either way, WWE feel like the product that they're putting out is the right product right now. Can things change? Yes, things could change. But right now, WWE feel like this is the right product for them and for their sponsors. I don't think they want to be doing blood and guts and all this kind of stuff because it could upset the sponsors. And I think you have to kind of factor that in as well. But this is a different product to AEW. A lot of people that are laying into WWE and whatever need to appreciate this is a different product. They're not trying to do what AEW are doing. I mean, I was listening to quite a few WWE stars talking about AEW. Becky, I remember Becky talking about them on, was it Ariel Hawani's show? And I think Heyman did as well on Ariel Hawani's show. And both of them were saying that AEW are a different product. It's a different thing. Right, we are back to the action, by the way. We've got Shotzi and Charlotte working on Sasha. Sasha gets slapped and goes outside the ring. So Sasha down on the outside. Gets hurled into the barricade. I totally forgot about Smackdown, Rampage, and the stream, said J14. Have you watched Spider-Man or Still? Have I watched Spider-Man or Still? I've never seen Still. I changed my name. What do snowmen eat for breakfast? Frosted Flakes or Ice Krispies? Days, I hope things are going well. Did you hear the news about Misha Tate wanting to make a comeback at 125? She thinks she could beat Valentina. Valentina would destroy her. Valentina would destroy her, yes. WWE on YouTube has got 84 million and make 1.2 to 3.9 million a month from YouTube, says BBY Yipsy. 2, shoulder up. 84 million. Been laying into WWE since I saw Vince get his head shaved, says the Davy J. Sammy has re-signed with WWE, says Mark. Legend Killer, shout out to you. Great Champ said AEW has got 77,000 followers on TikTok versus WWE, who have 14.7 million. WWE has got 80 million subs compared to AEW's 2 million. I mean, WWE have been going a lot longer, of course, so AEW are starting from a lower, zero as of, 2019? So WWE definitely had a hell of a head start. So yeah, I mean, I don't know that you can use that too much, but it certainly shows the mountain, gives you just an idea of the mountain that AEW is going to have to climb. Shotzi back in the corner as Tony Storm fires in kicks. If they put 3-hour shows for all 3 brands, that would be enough. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Just an hour of SmackDown would be flipping lovely. Imagine if you went to SmackDown, right? It's 2 hours, but the first hour doesn't get shown on TV. The second hour does. So you join a show with the crowd already warmed up. They're already into the action. They've already watched an hour. Whoever. People that aren't booked for TV that week, they get to see, It's going to be a lot of, Elias's or whatever it might be. Them kind of talents, Los Lotharios. But the second hour is booked specifically for TV, of course. And, really furthers the storylines along. That way, the live audience don't get cheated. The superstars still get to appear in front of the crowds. We don't have to sit through a load of waffle. We just get 1 hour of prime. And it'll never happen because, of course, they want the commercials. They want time. I think Nick Khan said that if they could do a 4-hour Raw, they would. Because they want that commercial money. They want all the money from the adverts. So, they want as much time as possible. They don't want to be losing time. But from a product point of view, it's a no-brainer. That hot tag for Tony wasn't great. Don't they do that already with main events? Probably. I know they did used to record main event before, but... God, could you... I mean, imagine that. You go see it live. I mean, you got to sit there through 4 hours. You got to sit through main event and then 3 hours of Raw. 4-hour show. Flip. So, that can do one. Main event can do one. Sure, they could film main event before NXT or something. Are they going to do a full 1 hour match open in response to Hangman versus Bryan? I doubt it. I mean, this first match tends to take about half an hour or so. We tend to get half an hour into the show with that first match or getting 40 minutes in. So I'd imagine this will go another 10 minutes. Never lose time to a moose who finds it hard to choose. Bray Wyatt's returning tonight. This is not a prediction. It's a spoiler. Yogesh says, I want a brawl between Paul and Roman Reigns. Well, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? It'll be interesting to see what happens when Roman arrives. Is he going to be happy? Is he going to be sad? I'm guessing he's going to be sad. I'm guessing he's going to be angry. Because obviously last week Paul Heyman got all animated. Reigning, defending. Did the old Brock Lesnar. Going to have to explain it. We've already seen him backstage waiting for Roman. This holiday season, little advert for the shop. We did look at the shop at the start of the stream. Some really genuinely good stuff on there. I really love that Charlotte shirt, you know. WWE Shop. Find what fits you. Save up to 50% off. Right, we go in back to the arena. We're still underway with this women's tag match. Rampage is an hour, and it still bores me most weeks, says Moldy. In order of YouTube subs in wrestling, it's WWE, Impact, AEW, and New Japan. Charlotte charging over, knee strike by Sasha. Sasha going up top. Throws Charlotte across the ring. Charlotte charging over, looking for a clothesline. Forearm strike by Sasha. Banks. Charlotte. Ooh, Sasha lands on Charlotte. Almost gets the pin. Sasha back in the corner, charging over, looking for double knees. Double knees by Sasha. Again, going back to the other side. Another knee strike towards Charlotte. 1, 2. Kick out by Charlotte. Days, who is someone you think Paul Heyman would be a good manager for? Oh, I'll go Nakamura. I think, well, maybe Gable Steveson as well. Gable Steveson, when he comes in, I think will be good because Heyman's been singing his praises. So that could be interesting. The only thing is, I think Gable Stevenson's going to be on a collision course with the Roman and Brock. You know, he'll be having matches against those guys. So, Paul Heyman, I mean, can Paul Heyman... I suppose Paul Heyman could manage Gable Steveson, and then, like, he really wouldn't know what to do, would he? Could be quite interesting. It could be interesting. Sasha lands on her feet, rolls up Charlotte to kick out by Charlotte. Against the ropes goes Sasha. Bulldog gets it. Lovely. Actually spikes Charlotte. Really spikes Charlotte. Sasha going outside the ring. She's looking to go up top. Toni Storm tags herself in. Sasha up top. No, roll through. Duck underneath as Shotzi charges over. Backstabber by Sasha. Charlotte comes over, grabs Sasha, hurls Sasha out the ring. Toni Storm is up top in the corner. Crossbody. 1, 2, 3. Did she get it? Wow, that's the closest count I've ever seen. I don't think you could have closer than that. A lot of people was like, there was a woman that was celebrating. Wow, 1, 2. Oh. That was close. That was real close. What do you think of the booking of Big E as champ? Are you waiting for him to act a bit more serious as champ? I feel like it's all right. I hope they go more into that cartoon comic strip kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, it's all right. He's had a good match against Drew at Crown Jewel. He's had a good match against Roman. So I feel like it's up and running. I suppose what I'm waiting for is Just a good feud. I mean, Storm pins Charlotte. I've been waiting for him to get rid of his New Day attire, and it feels like he sort of has. I would like him to lose the entrance jacket. It feels too New Day. I really want to move away from New Day. Toni Storm gets the pin on Charlotte. There's a Toni Storm sign behind as well. Storm and Banks win. Heyman should have Stevenson attack both Brock and Roman and then put them out yelling, I am now the advocate. I'm not the advocate of either. I am now the advocate for Gable Stevenson. That would be cool, wouldn't it? Right, we're backstage. We've got King Woods. Why is Nakamura chanting it? Why is the Intercontinental Champion doing this? Xavier Woods was having people kiss his hand, and everyone was like, hey, King Woods. But seeing Nakamura do it is like, what's this? Is the Intercontinental Champion? Right, we got the Usos. Kingwood says we're going to beat you again tonight, so it seems like we're getting New Day Usos. We'll beat you tonight. And we'll beat you at day one. I like Kofi's little giggle. What's this? Raid! Have they always done that? Raid! Raid. 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 The raid. Come on, everyone. Raid. Raid. Come on, everyone. Raid. Has that always been a thing? Or are they trying to get us to do this now? Raid. Raid. Come on, everyone. Join in. Viking Raiders. Who are they facing? I forgot these guys existed. Raid. 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 I had a can of Raid earlier, you know. Not even joking. Shame I don't have that now. Raid. Raid. Look at them. Oh, God, it's so cringe. Them, like, looking out to the crowd going, Raid. Raid. Please join in. Raid. Raid. Come on, everyone. Wow, something for the kids, innit? Something for the kids. They've been doing that for the past month. I've only just seen. Days when Brock went crazy attacking the ref's security and a camera guy. Did he go cuckoo from Cocoa Puffs? Was he mad because he didn't get the Universal title? When are we talking? Like, when he attacked, like, Adam Pearce and everything? He just didn't give a flip, did he? He does want that Universal title, and I think he will get an opportunity at day one. I don't think that match is booked yet, is it? But apparently it is going that way. Fly spray at this time of year. The Viking Raiders have gotten boring. Byron said, I went to SummerSlam 2002 and Survivor Series in 2002. Only 2 people are doing the raid. Do you know if AEW has got a mobile app for the iPad? I don't know. I don't know, but I don't have an iPad and I don't have the AEW app. Chad says they are the generic version of the Road Warriors. BBB Yipsy said, I'm really tired of the New Day. Yeah, Mahar and Stanky. Oh, Stanky. Don't call him Stanky. Days, when it comes to going into the Hall of Fame, do you think Kofi should go in as a single and for the New Day? Yes. Yeah, I think he's definitely deserved both. I mean, the New Day go in. The question would be, if the New Day didn't exist, would Kofi go in? And I suppose then the question becomes, was Kofi Mania the New Day? Or was it Kofi? I mean, in my mind, it's Kofi. And because he goes in and does the gauntlet match as himself, obviously. And then, like, you know, so it's all him. I know there's a bit where, like, after the Elimination Chamber, like, the New Day members come down. But I feel like they could have done that even if there weren't a New Day. Like, they could have had people come down going, come on, bud, you'll get them next time, yeah? Chin up. So I kind of feel that the whole Kofi Mania thing, which was huge, is all Kofi. And I think, you know, he won the title. He's a WWE champion. His longevity in WWE has been incredible. He's done everything that's been asked of him. He's prime Hall of Fame candidate. Yeah, definitely. And then, I mean, the New Day are one of the greatest factions. So, yeah, I think both definitely go in. I've no problem with that whatsoever. Kofi being a 2-time Hall of Famer just feels right, to be honest, as well. I'm looking forward to the Jake Paul fight. It's going to be good, dudes. It's going to be good. Paul is still waiting for Roman to arrive, but Roman posted a picture of him backstage 2 hours ago. Lol. Where is Bayley? She's injured. So she'll be back early next year, we think. Hopefully for the Rumble. I think, but didn't someone say she's the favourite to win the Rumble at the moment? So, right, we are going back to black screen. Match flow, progressive match flow. What have they got for us? Match flow last week. Feel the glow with Sonya. Sonya made her way down. We thought we were going to get this match. We get Shayna. We get Natalya. And then we get the arrival of Xia Li. Xia Li. So Xia Li makes the save. That was last week. Backstage with Natalya, who's watching. Do you know who you're talking to? Most pay-per-view matches of any woman in WWE history. Natalya laughing. You don't do that on SmackDown. I'm the best of all time. If Xia Li steps up to me, then she'll be the one that needs a protector. If Bayley returns at the Rumble, the crowd pop would be amazing. I don't know why the woman got breast implants 3 years ago weren't that big. Days trip to Bolton cancelled later due to an outbreak of COVID. Here for SmackDown, no worries, man. Shout out to you. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with the football. Last I saw, there was still 5 games going ahead. But I've honestly not seen if any more have been cancelled in the Premier League or not. But, I mean, it is just getting worse and worse and worse, isn't it, at the moment? In this country, it's getting particularly bad. Yes, we've still got the 5 games. So we've still got the five games. So I'm guessing that they're still going to go ahead. Days, my favourite DJ Ben Boma played for Anjuna Deep Open Air in London at the Drum Sheds. Have a listen. Ben Boma. Never heard of him. Is Alexa Bliss injured? I don't think so. She had that freak out, didn't she, at Extreme Rules. And we haven't seen her since. Days, do you think Roman will turn on Paul Heyman tonight? I don't know that he'll turn on him, but I think he's definitely going to want answers. Didn't the Viking Raiders come out? Yes, they're still desperate. Whilst we're watching this video package, they're still desperately in the ring going, come on, guys, please. Oh, we'll try this one more time. Raid. Come on, everyone, please. Oh, God, no one's listening to us. Why does no one care? Oh, raid. Oh, this is the worst. Oh. That's what's happening right now, but we can't see that. We're just watching this Raw recap at the moment. Natalia, most matches lost by a Hart family member. Are you streaming day one? Totally. But that's not for another, 2 weeks, isn't it? Just under. Just over, maybe. We go back to the ring. Come on, everyone at home. Come on. Please join in. Come on. Right, we're going back. We're going back to the ring in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, everyone. Other than that, they were just stood there, just chatting amongst themselves. What are you doing tonight? I was thinking of getting a film. Oh. Anything in particular? No, not really, no. Oh, hang on. Here we go. Come on. Viking. Do you know what I love about watching wrestling? It's all so realistic and natural, and you can just lose yourself in it. I don't know about you, but I tend to watch, pro wrestling. I'm just like, wow. These characters are so relatable. They're so relatable. Yeah, it's amazing. Super cool. Super cool, aren't they? Super cool. I predict this is going to be 2 minutes. Ad break. Yeah, ad break. Ad break time. Right now, this feels like we're just trolling the Viking Raiders, doesn't it? Does anyone else feel that way? Like, this now feels like we are literally just trolling the Viking Raiders. Poor Viking Raiders came out before, wasn't it, the last ad break? And then we went to commercial break. Then when we came back, we were looking at Xia Li's debut, talking to Natalia. Then we got a Raw recap. Then we went back to the Viking Raiders that are doing this. And now we've gone to another commercial break. Lol. I should imagine they're just in the ring right now going, just kill me. Just kill me. How have I got myself into this situation? God damn. Keep doing the raid. I hate ad breaks right after you just come back from an ad break. It will be a miracle if this match goes half as long as the time before the match that the Viking Raiders have been in the ring doing nothing. Well, they've not been doing nothing, have they, David? Yeah, they've not been doing nothing. They flipping love it. The name Shanky is ridiculous. Did you just get out of prison? How do they come up with these names, said Rob? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know how they come up with some of this stuff. Let us never forget Shorty G. Let us never forget that fiasco. If they're still going, it would be the... What, when we go back? As soon as we come back from commercial break, they're there. Days, if the Viking Raiders are part of WrestleMania in 2022, they could do paid. They're probably thinking that every time they do it. It's the only thing that gets them through is thinking about how much money they're making while standing there doing that. Roman said AEW is better than WWE. Did he, Byron? Did he? Come on, here we go. We're going back now. Let's see what they're doing. Let's see what these crazy cats are up to. We're just going straight into a match. The match has already started. Boo! I wanted more of that. Right, here we go. We've got Jinder and Shanky taking on the Viking Raiders. There's Shanky. Roman said AEW sucks. Someone called my mama. It's about to get funky up in here. Are they pre-recording SmackDown next week? I believe so, yeah. I believe it's straight after this. All that chest beat in Viking Raiders will be cancelled for male toxicity. Right, Shanky in there. Side slam. And Shanky is in the ring right now. So Shanky in control against Eric. He's got Eric over in the corner. Eric goes face first. I agree with you guys. I don't think this is going to get much time. Back elbow by Shanky. Spoilers. Yeah. The Jake Paul fight starts at 2 a.m. in the morning in the UK and it's got 6 fights on the card. It is going to be a long one. Yeah, I don't think all of them are on the broadcast, to be honest. I think there's only 4 that they're showing. So, I don't know quite what time the ring walk's going to be, but we're starting at 9. We're doing UFC. So we're going to do UFC as we build towards the start of the Jake Paul thing. And then we go straight into the start of the Jake Paul show. The UFC overlaps the Jake Paul beginning. So it didn't make any sense to do UFC, shut that down, and then go into Jake Paul. Just makes sense to just do one stream, go straight the way through. So that's what we're doing. It's going to be a crazy long night. It is going to be crazy long because as I'm sat here right now, it won't even have started tomorrow. Yeah, it is going to be long. It's Christmas Eve days. Is MJF a better heel, like a lot of AEW fans say? All he has over Roman is the promos. Even his promos get repetitive. Is he a better heel than Roman? No. I don't think he's better heel than Roman. I actually thought his back and forth with CM Punk was the better promo, but there's no shame in that whatsoever. No shame in that. I mean, I do think MJF is young. He's shown that he can talk. He's shown that he can get heat. He's shown that he can get over with the crowd. He's shown that he can wrestle. And you'd have to think that all of those things, as he gets older, more comfortable, more experienced, all of those things are just going to improve as time goes by. So totally understand why WWE want him and why he's so highly regarded. I mean, it's not a knock. It's not a knock of MJF, but MJF doesn't look as impressive as what Roman does. I don't think his matches are as good as Roman. His promos are different to Roman's. They're hard to compare with Roman. You know, when Roman talks, you are on the edge of your seat because, like, you don't quite know what he's going to say. Whereas, you know, MJF tends to throw out a lot of, like, laying into the crowd, trying to put out a few witty lines. You don't really get that from Roman. They're different promos. But nah, I mean, nah, he's not Roman's level. Roman has got a way better character and story. Adam said, I'm seeing about 3:30 to 4-ish being spoke about for ring walks. Nah, that's probably about true, in all fairness. Because a lot of those undercard fights, I don't think, you know, I think Serrano can go 10 rounds, but there's quite a few 8 rounds. I think one of them, which is it Williams against, I can't remember, Gore? The basketball versus the football guy. That's like 4 rounds. Viking Raiders win. Splash from Ivar. Shanky got pinned. I'm calling it now. Sasha wins the Women's Royal Rumble. Big Guy said there's not a chance in hell MJF would ever step foot into a WWE ring again. Raid. Come on, boys, do it. Do it. Yeah! And no one in the crowd is joining in. Raid. Yeah, no one's interested. Literally no one is interested. Right, we're just seeing last week with Drew and his sword putting it through the desk. MJF tweeted today, Chicago sucks. There's Madcap and Corbin wheeling that desk away. They still have that desk. Aren't they in a different place to last week, though? Why have they still got it backstage? That sword is dangerous. No one in the crowd was doing it. That's awful. It was awful. I'm going to send the video to you of what Roman says. They've been pushing that desk for a full week, yeah. Lena De La Cruz said, Days, my favourite Hall of Famer is Hulk Hogan, and what I didn't like about him that he is racist back in 2015. Did you hear about that news? Yeah. Do you still like him as a favourite Hall of Famer? I've never had him as my favourite Hall of Famer. So, he's never been my favourite Hall of Famer. He's come out and apologised for those comments, and you know, it's down to whether you accept that or not. You know, do you believe that he is sorry? Do you believe that he, you know, has apologized, and is that enough? Or, you know, for some people, he should be out of the Hall of Fame permanently, and that's it. For some people, they've accepted it and allowed him to, you know, go back in. WWE have put him back in. He was removed. But they have now put him back in. Definitely his legacy has been tarnished. His image has definitely been tarnished. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. It's I don't know. I think he's apologized for it, and I don't really know what else he can do. So it would be a shame to not have Hulk Hogan in the WWE Hall of Fame. He is one of their biggest stars. That does not excuse what he said at all. Let's make that crystal. But he apologised for it. Locker room accepted. Not all of the locker room, though. And so just comes down to personal opinion now, doesn't it? So, but he was never my favorite WWE Hall of Famer. Would it be hilarious if the fans started chanting, "We want Punk"? I don't know why they would do that, to be honest. I don't know why WWE fans would do that, because they know he's in AEW. So they know that he can't come to WWE. And in fact, has Punk not chosen a different team? Like, if you go, I know there'll be people in that crowd that also watch AEW, but there will also be people in that crowd that don't. So, in a way, is Punk not maybe dead to this crowd a little? I don't know why they would start chanting him. Be a bit weird. He's chosen to bat for the other team, hasn't he? He's chosen to go to the competition, if you will. The alternative. Dace, do you think Ray should be in the Hall of Fame? Yes. Hulk Hogan saying those racist slurs really made me lose respect. Almost an hour in, 2 matches, and nothing of interest has happened. Max said Drew needs to get his sword and just start going crazy with it. Hogan should be in the Hall of Fame, but I can't believe that he is sorry. Just sorry he was caught, said Master Chief. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think that is not the case, but I mean, I don't know, do I? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. He says that he's got a lot of, like, friends from different backgrounds and different, you know, ethnicities and, you know. But, I mean, like, he was caught saying it. Caught saying stuff. So, I don't know. It's hard to know what the truth is. All I know is that he's apologised. Anyway, the other thing I know is that Roman has arrived. Oh. He opens the door. Oh, it's Brock. Brock? I was expecting someone else. Maybe Roman. Good luck with that. Thank you. That was interesting. Well, Brock's here. Right. Happy talk. Brock is the tribal chief. Well, I mean, I don't know what we're going to get with Brock tonight, but Brock being there also makes me think, what do we get with Brock next week? If Brock is in that building, that means not only is he potentially on the show tonight, he's there next week. That pop for Brock was crazy. Okay, so happy talk with Happy Corbin. Where's the desk? They've left it unmanned for the first time in a week. No, it's in the ring. So the sword is still in the desk, and the desk is in the ring. Right, welcome to Happy Talk. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Cool. 3 weeks Brock was here. Where is Roman? Apparently he is on the show tonight, yes. We've got a new addition. God, these segments are awful, aren't they? These segments are awful. You could clean your nails with it. There's a sign in the crowd that says "You suck." Yeah. Everyone should have them. Cringe. I think 2-year-olds have written their jokes. Yeah. I mean, I can only imagine that they're meant to be so unfunny and annoying that that's the gimmick. The gimmick is they tell bad jokes, they annoy you, you want to see them get beat up as a result. But it's sort of like go away heat, isn't it? Like, they run the risk of people turning the channel over. That's a great joke. Even 11-year-olds are probably shouting STFU. He's not hilarious. This whole thing is not hilarious. Okay, so Madcap's going to try and get the sword out of the desk. It's dull, man. This is dull. If there was an 8-man battle royal, who would be in it? Don't know. Probably Corbin, Nakamura, Xavier, Kofi. They can't get the sword out of the desk at the moment. I mean, they've just said about how much they love this as a hat rack and all this. And now they want to take the... Now they want to take the sword out. I'm expecting Drew to come out or something like, where's... Ah, here he is. Here he is. I was like, where's Drew? God, he could have saved us about 10 minutes ago, couldn't he? Drew making his way down. Okay, Drew coming down with his kilt. They're trying to get the sword out of the desk. Is it going to be a case he gets in and does it? Are we having some performance issues? Okay, Madcap gets chucked out the ring. Headbutt by Drew. Jesus, we're doing Disney now. We're doing Sword in the Stone. Tune in next week for Beauty and the Beast. What is your favourite WWE theme dong ever? I've never seen a WWE themed dong. Well, there we go. Did you hear the CM Punk chants? No. Drew is worthy. Yeah. Finally, Drew, you could have walked out before they started talking, I know, yeah. Oh. Are you going to do a video explaining Jeff Hardy's release? I still don't understand Jeff Hardy's release, to be honest. I think he... Well, I mean, he went into the crowd. He had pictures with fans. WWE offered him rehab. He turned it down. And they ended up releasing him. Because they couldn't be responsible if he's not, you know, in charge of his actions. Like, I don't know. But Matt Hardy seems to think there's nothing to it, so... Here's Sammy. So Sammy's backstage with Adam Pearce and Sonya. I care about the spirit of the holidays. I earned a Universal title opportunity. You love the Intercontinental title. Next week. 12-man gauntlet match next week. 12. It's not much of a gift. I've got to beat 11 other guys. Yeah, that's good. Segments with Sammy are so good, aren't they? Sammy is so good. All right, here's Sheamus. Days, we need the girl that stuck her tongue out at Liv Morgan tonight for her reaction to the Happy Corbin section. Listen, she changed the channel. You ain't going to get any reaction. She changed the channel. Okay, so Ridge Holland making his way out. As soon as we get to the next commercial break, we'll do halftime scores. Ridge Holland versus Cesaro coming up very soon. Sammy should win the Intercontinental title and then protest by never defending it. Oh, wait, never mind. That is what IC title holders do these days. I'm looking forward to... I mean, at least we're doing something with the IC title. I'm looking forward to seeing where we get to and what we do. It's about time that title was defended. I think it's been defended once in, like, 4 months or something. Something crazy like that. As Cesaro has made his way out in the entranceway. And Kit, shout out to you. Cesaro has made his way out, and we're just getting Cesaro's entrance. As we said, we should be going to commercial break very soon. It's not been the best first hour, though, has it? Let's put it that way. I mean, outside of Brock arriving, struggling a little bit with that first hour. But we'll see what the second hour has. We haven't had Roman yet, so we've definitely got Roman. We haven't had much of Brock, so I'm sure we're going to get more of Brock. What about halftime scores as soon as we get to commercial break, yeah. Rich Holland attacks Cesaro from behind. Cesaro is down. Everyone needs to have a stick or a sword or a bat. Lol, Cesaro, where's your toy? Yeah. unprepared, isn't he? He's unprepared. Rich Holland can't get his jacket off. They just showed Rich Holland, and he's in the ring going. That sums up this show, man. Can't even get his flipping jacket off. Right, halftime scores. Halftime scores. Everybody get in your halftime scores. I would have a kendo stick, says Lone Star Friend. An hour wrestling show, and the best thing was someone getting out of a car in an hour. Yeah, but he did it really well. He did it really well. Did you see him? He did it very well. You got to give respect where it's due. I've not seen someone get out of a car quite as impressive as that in a while. So, 4. Austin said 4. Jay says 4. Max says 4. LD Cool says 7. Jason says 5. Let him in says 5. We've got lots of 4s and 5s. Oh my God. Look at these scores, man. Look at these scores. Frenchie with a 4. Abdul Hamid with a 4. Shola with a 3. Look at these, man. Look at these. Do you know who else couldn't get their jacket off quickly, then got a spear? Who couldn't get their jacket off and got speared? Who's this? Just Blaze Days. The chat is more entertaining than this show. Justin says 4. 1987 Big Fan said 4. There's a lot of 4s. I might have to change the scoring system later, mightn't I? Normally I do 8 to 10. I might have to do 5 to 10. Guys, what do you think of this week's show? 0 to 1. 1, 2, 5 to 3. 3, 2, 5 to 4, 7, 5. 5 or above. Like, we might have to just really focus on the lower end of the scale so far. Second best part of the show has been Braid. Oh my God, I know, yeah. Days, that Jake and Tyron belt should be burned and the ashes be eBayed to feed the homeless. It's not on the line. He's not defending it. It's literally just for him. So, apparently $500,000 for that belt. It's got a Rolex and a Cartier in. I look at that belt and I feel sorry for Jake Paul, to be honest. I do, genuinely. I look at that belt and I feel sorry for him because it says to me that is a guy that's got more money than he knows what to do with. And I don't think it's buying him, like, happiness. He's having to spend it on stuff to, like, show off to the world. And it's like, it's not right, is it? Something's really wrong there. $500,000 on that belt. I don't think he's a happy person. I don't think he's loving life. When will you do another toy hunt? I will try and get one more done. I've got footage done. I've got about 6 minutes. So I need another couple of minutes and then get it all edited together. So I'll try and get another one done by the end of the year. J17 said Days Brock should have arrived on a cow with a jug of milk in his left hand. Recently, Raw and SmackDown have both been pretty dookie. J14 said, I ain't sitting through this show. I'm off to Target. What are you getting, Jay? When you go to Target, what are you buying? What are you looking at? I don't think they do dirty magazines in Target, do they? Maybe they do. I don't know. Good thing about Jake Paul is he is not involved with criminals like most boxers. That belt made it look like it was made of Haribo. Days Roman will lift our scores a little bit. I hope so. For $500,000, the belt looked trash. Yeah, it did look awful. He gave Tyron a Rolex. I saw. Yeah, I saw. Right, we're seeing Ridge stretching Cesaro right now. It was Bray. He got speared by Goldberg with the jacket on. Oh, I can't remember. Days, an idea for those last minutes. Talk about your favourite figures that have come out this year. An idea for those last minutes. Do you know what? I don't even know if I could answer favourite figures from this year because I never went figure shopping, did I? So, I don't know what came out this year. I am so out of the loop. Normally I can answer that because I'm looking for stuff in shops or I see it on toy hunts. I only did one toy hunt this year. So, I mean, my favourite figures are the Ultimate Editions. If you're getting into figures or just starting, I think a great way to start your collection would be to get the Ultimate Editions. I genuinely think they're the best figures that Mattel have made. I think that you could make an argument the best Warrior is the Ultimate Edition. The best Ric Flair is the Ultimate Edition. They did a Ronda figure that looked great. They did a Becky Lynch, the Man, which looked great. There's a Hogan that's coming out that looks amazing. I think they finally do the Hollywood Hogan as well that was meant to be a defining moment. And then obviously all that drama happened. All that controversy. So yeah, but now Hogan's back. They've been able to do the Hollywood Hogan figure, but I'm sure that was an Ultimate Edition. So listen, I think the best figure they've ever done is the Finn Balor Ultimate Edition. If you get the Ultimate Editions, I think you're off to a good start. Moro said, Days, let me know when AEW starts. 47 minutes, mate. 47 minutes. I can't find any information on that Hogan 85. It's not out yet. It's not out, and I don't know when it's getting released. I'm guessing they're just going to get it out the way first. I mean, if you want info on it, I've got the graphic here. I am so excited for this figure. We're backstage with Ridge Holland. I want to hear one of their hilarious jokes. I haven't heard one yet. Right, we've got Naomi making her way out. This could be all right. I like Naomi. She's amazing. Look at it. So excited. Bow, bow, bow. Ooh, we're hitting some nasty lag. I think we're hitting some lag. Yeah, we got a little bit of lag, man. I'm trying to get rid. Let me get rid of this. Lag. Should be good. Do you think Carl will be at Dynamite next week? I don't know if next week. I know that Adam Cole said he's got a surprise. So it could be that. It wasn't just you. No, for some reason I was looking at it there like we were hitting like some lag. Don't know why it's gone now anyway. Done. Juliana Pena is in attendance. Don't know if they're going to show her during the show. What, she's in attendance of Rampage? When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. Dun, 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 dun. Well, what I love is the belt. That belt has never been made by Mattel. I don't think it was ever made by Jax. It certainly was never made by Hasbro. So that is the Hogan 85 belt. That's the belt he had at WrestleMania 1. So, so excited for that belt. You can get the Hogan 86 belt that came with the defining moments, but they've never made the Hogan 80. They've never made the Hogan 85. I think there was a Hogan 84 that was slightly different. I think it had red on it, and then before that is Big Green. So, And after the Hogan 86 is the Winged Eagle. So, you know, you're really talking about some of the, you know, some of the WWE championships from the past. I'd love to get Big Green. And I'd love to get the Bruno belt. But, I don't know. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see if they ever get around to making them. I mean, the fact we're getting this one is so exciting. So, Ultimate Editions, man. That's where to start. But, I mean, there's... all of the current figures are better than the older ones. Since they started doing true effects, like, the quality has definitely gone up. If you compare the figures they're making now to the ones they made in 2010, 2011, 2012, these are much better. Much better. So, to get into collecting figures now is a really good time. You've got Ultimate Editions. You've got, granted, to go back and get the older figures now, you're going to be paying a lot. But if you just want, like, the current stars, or what they're making now, it's brilliant. Like, the stuff they're coming out with now is just brilliant. I'm predicting 2-1 Chelsea because Kovacic is back, says Jordan. That's good news. Days, I'm watching a sappy Christmas movie on the Hallmark channel. That was more exciting than tonight's SmackDown. Well, we've got, what, 43 minutes. Let's see what they can do. They might blow our minds. We do have Naomi. Is Sonya coming down? I don't actually know what this match is. Hopefully it'll be a Zing. She's in attendance for SmackDown. She's picked a bad one. She has picked a bad one. Oh, she's doing a promo? So. I make a list. I love how Naomi's getting a promo. So, the only thing on her list is to face Sonya one-on-one. Sonya. Get out here and let's do this now. Naomi, oh my god, this is so unprofessional. When I have this suit on, you can't touch me. She's a good promo, actually, Sonya, you know. She's a decent promo. She's an underrated promo, Sonya Deville. She says, okay, I'll fight Shayna, but I dare you to step into this ring. Shayna attacks from behind. Shayna attacks from behind. So I'm guessing, like, is this match starting, is it? Is it a match? Have we got a match? I don't know what's... Yeah, referee, you can ring the bell. That's good. That's good work, actually, because at least I know now if it's a match or not. Naomi, save for Christmas Eve. Fight, 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 fight. The Sonya-Naomi feud has gone on way too long. The feud is getting a bit dull. We haven't had any overt reason for what Sonya's problem with Naomi is. That's true. That's true. Toby, shout out to you. 1, 2, 3. Well, that sucks, doesn't it? Naomi rolls up. She just rolls up Shayna. Beats her. Oh. Well, there we go. She's got a tap from behind. Beats Shayna Baszler, former UFC fighter. A couple of minutes. Not even that. Yay! Roll up. Hey! Classic roll up. I've only just noticed the Santa in the front row. Look at the Santa. Doing that on the front row. Right, we've got Madcap. We've got Happy Corbin. They're hiding backstage. No. So we've got Madcap, we've got Corbin hiding in some boiler room. It's a very small boiler room. My grade actually moved down to a 2.5. I didn't think it could get worse. I'm happy I've checked my fantasy Premier League app as SmackDown is so boring. Come on, man. So, what? Is it going to be McIntyre against Madcap? Okay, King Woods is coming out. King Woods is coming out with his throne. His throne is being wheeled out. It's being dragged out. So, King Woods... Couldn't they put that on wheels? I'm sure they could put it on some sort of wheels rather than dragging it. Like, that could be remote controlled. That is not out of the realms of possibility that platform gets controlled, radio controlled. Instead, you've got two people dragging it out. Right, Usos New Day is next. I don't know how much of Roman we're getting. We haven't seen Roman. They said he's back and that he's on the show. I just remembered, where's Kayla? But I think she drank a piece of glass. I don't know where Kayla is. Do you think WWE switched creative teams during the draft? I'm starting to question if WWE have a creative team. I don't know what's gone on. Vince is really cutting back on the special effect. God damn. We'll pull him out. I mean, I wouldn't have minded if they were like, I don't know, peasants that were like dragging it out or something. But it was just two dudes in black that were like pulling it and off camera as well. Could easily put like make that remote control. Easy. Don't get it. Are they not getting paid enough by Fox? It's out of budget. It's out of budget. If only they were getting another billion. Oh. Like I said last week, WWE has Shayna lose all the time with stupid roll-ups. Jordan said, any transfer news? I heard that Ferran Torres to Barcelona is 90%. Let's have a look. Time to deliver the news. Man United and French forward Martial wants to leave as soon as possible. Martial is ready to join Juve as in January on a loan deal. Newcastle have been advised to make a move for Martial as well. Everton have agreed a fee with Dynamo Kiev to sign Mykolenko for 18 million. So Mykolenko, left back, apparently on the verge of signing for Everton. Man United and England forward Rashford open to signing for Barcelona. That's according to a report in Spain. Man City and Spain forward Ferran Torres is Xavi's main target for January. Chelsea, Barca, Bayern and Ajax have sent scouts to watch a young Swedish midfielder. Leeds have been dealt a January setback. John Swift said he wants to stay at Reading, so it seems like they had their eyes set on him. That's pretty much all the latest so far. Days, Man United are better than Liverpool, baby. Yeah, Kayla put on Twitter she was at a restaurant and the drink she got had a piece of glass in it and it got stuck in her throat. Oh, my God. The Great Champ said, Days, let's play a game. Push, bury, or fire. Nah, I don't want to play that. I don't want to see anyone get fired. Moro said, had to cut back production due to the Kevin Owens contract. What's your favourite cologne currently? I don't use cologne. If I was actually going out, then I might use cologne. But I don't. Compare this to us complaining about a ref being too involved in a 1 hour match. That seems like rich people problems in comparison to this disaster. The only thing I would say is that the complaints about the ref in that hour match, I don't disagree. Seem nothing compared to this, but we were trying to decide if that was a 5-star match or not. So it's not we weren't trying to decide whether that was a good show or not. I was trying to decide, is it a 5-star match? And to me it wasn't. And we were talking as to reasons why. I mean, that is absolutely chalk and cheese to what we're dealing with here. I mean, this show has been especially bad. It's not had anything about it, has it? I mean, do you know what this show is? This show is what SmackDown is like when Roman's not on the show. But not only that, like normally if Roman's not on the show, then at least you get like Brock and Heyman doing something, or Sammy, like we did last week, you know. We had Brock and we had Heyman, we had Sammy, and we had like, you know, a good promo at the start. This is what SmackDown's like without Roman. And really, the Roman story. Take the Roman story out of SmackDown. All we've had that Brock arriving. That's it. So, kind of, this is what SmackDown looks like without Roman. And it sucks, to be honest. It's not very good at all. It was a decent 4-2-5 match, says the Great Champ. Last week was below average without Roman, and this week is god awful. Well, we've got half an hour to go. Shola said it's been trash. Days, New Day are having a match with the Usos before their title match at day 1. Do you want to explain that to a new fan? Yeah, sure. So, if you are new to WWE, these two teams are facing each other now, and then they will face each other at day 1. The reason is because WWE have got a load of TV time that they need to kill, and so they're just desperate for anything that might just entertain anyone out there. So that's why we're getting it tonight. It's probably going to be some sort of screwy finish. I'm not expecting anything to happen here that's going to be significant or worth your time at all. So if you want to skip this, make a drink. They are fighting again at day 1. You know, stare at your wallpaper for a little bit if you want. Just learn a new hobby or something. Find out something about yourself that you didn't already know. I reckon you've got a good 8 to 10 minutes here. Yeah, you know, you could use that time wisely. Do a jigsaw. A small one, but... I just saw on Twitter someone has given birth to twins and named them Moxley and Kingston. Daniel said there's a massive difference about the drop-off in SmackDown to Dynamite. When Roman is gone, you get this. AEW are currently missing Moxley, Kenny, and Jericho, and they are on a hot streak at the moment. Thoughts? You can't really compare the shows because WWE do 5 hours, whereas Dynamite's 2. I mean, you can't really count Rampage. If you want to count Rampage, that's fine, but I mean, I think Rampage is pretty skippable. Dynamite is their A show. Dynamite is really the only show you need to be watching. It's 2 hours. And with the roster they've got, they can do, Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson into CM Punk, into Darby Allin, into... Whereas WWE have got a space, they've got to fill 5 hours. So, WWE... for whatever reason, do not have a creative department that is able to create 5... And come on, it is ridiculous to think that 5 hours of engaging content every single week. Like, how do you do that? Yes, you've got all... But how do you not repeat storylines? Plus, also, you could set a load of stuff up and then people could be late. You could have suspensions. There's loads of things you could be doing that you can't actually do for one reason or another. I mean, obviously, we've gone through COVID, people being released. I mean, there's loads of stuff that's happened whereby the creative department had no idea those people were getting released. No way did they know. Those decisions were made and then the talent was told. No way was the creative department told in advance. So they could have been doing storylines with them, and then before they know it, someone's gone. And think of how many people have been released. Think of the disruption that surely caused this year within WWE. I mean, you've got figures being made. I mean, Mattel. Think about Mattel. They're making figures of superstars that are not on TV now. I mean, who wants to go to the shop and buy those superstars now? How many people are clamoring for a Karrion Kross figure right now? How many people want a Keith Lee figure right now? Like, I should imagine Mattel pulling their hair out, creative pulling their hair out. The disruption this show has been immense. But just even at the best of times, how do you do 5 hours of engaging, entertaining content that's comedy, that's drama, that's good storylines that don't cross over? You don't want storylines being the same. How do you use the whole roster? It's hard. It's really, really hard. It's really hard. It must be possible, but WWE are not even close to having anything that can consistently deliver 5 hours of engaging content. I mean, to be honest, I don't know how you do it. I mean, you have to have 2 writing teams, one for Raw, one for SmackDown. They have that. But then how do you, with all the disruption we've had this year, how can you expect them to even come out with, really good shows? I think the consistency could be and should be better. And I have to think that Vince's involvement is a negative thing. But, yeah, I mean, how we don't get better shows, I don't know. But I don't expect 5 hours of great entertaining. I expect better than what we're getting tonight. I do expect better than this. And I think a lot of people expect better than this. I mean, I'd imagine a lot of people have drifted throughout this show. I mean, maybe the Roman stuff's keeping people around, or maybe people have gone and they'll check back with the final 15, or maybe it'll be something like that. But yeah, I mean, to compare AEW to this is, they've got 2 hours to do. 2 hours to do, and I would argue that, Dynamite, for me, was... I mean, it was a bit hit and miss as to which was the better show between Dynamite and NXT. I don't think Dynamite was really any great shakes. But then they went and got Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson, and CM Punk came back, and they got Ruby Soho, and Britt Baker, obviously became champ and kicked on. Hangman came back. You can do 2 hours with their roster. You'd be able to do... I mean, think of the 2-hour show you could put on with WWE's roster. You could put on a great 2-hour show. 5 hours, though. 5 hours. They just don't seem to be able to do it. add in the fact that WWE are putting out a different product. And, you know, WWE are putting out that stupid sword in a desk stuff, thinking that, I don't know, in their mind, that's entertaining to maybe kids. So, I don't know. The thing with WWE is you don't want to miss anything good, do you? You don't want to miss anything big. Like the Roman story has been so good. And look at Becky and Charlotte at Survivor Series. That was great. And Edge against Seth, that Hell in a Cell match at Crown Jewel. That was brilliant. So you do keep getting these matches and these moments that just keep you, like, you know, tuning in. But by and large, I mean, yeah, tonight has been a bad one. But it's December. We said going into December that December would suck. And guess what? It hasn't been brilliant. 1, 2, kick out by Kofi. This match, unsurprisingly, is one of the better things that we've seen so far. With 23 minutes to go. Days, dare I say, this could be the worst SmackDown of the year. It's a downright struggle to sit through. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. And I mean, like, any SmackDown that's not had, like, Roman in it is going to struggle because he's been such a massive focus. So, I don't think it's unfair to say it's in consideration. But bit of energy in this match was nice. And Kofi managing to get Trouble in Paradise. And the win. I know the main event will be good, but this show has been poor. How would you book Naomi Sonya? Would you do a double turn with Naomi joining the Bloodline or Naomi losing and then joining? I wouldn't have a join yet. I don't think she's been used enough to really be that big of a deal if she joined. I'd actually give Naomi a good year, 12 months. Have her join the Bloodline maybe at the start of 2023. Roman gets out. He's got his new needle mover shirt on. Here's Heyman, my tribal chief. Let's go out to my ring. Roman said, let's go out to my ring. Right, 20 minutes. Do you know what? He is the flipping needle mover. He is, isn't he? That's exactly what he is. If you could choose one tag partner, who would it be? Brock. That way I ain't got to do nothing, mate. Nothing. I just have to stand on the outside of the ring whilst he does all the work. Roman, don't sound happy. Nope. He says, let's go out to my ring. Dave said, hello, Days. Where was Adam Cole when NXT 2.0 debuted? Have you wondered where he was? Did he react to that or he didn't care? Imagine Adam Cole on NXT 2.0. I didn't wonder about it because there was reports that his contract was coming up and there was reports that he was wanted by the main roster and obviously by AEW. So it didn't feel like he was sticking around in NXT when 2.0 started. We just didn't know where he was going. We didn't know if he was going to the main roster or going to AEW. We just knew his contract was coming up and everyone was undecided what was happening. So him to NXT 2.0 I don't think was really ever under consideration. I don't think that he looked at NXT and thought, "Oh, I'm not sticking with that," because from what we heard, he was having conversations with Vince, and Vince offered him a very good contract and believed in him and wanted to take him to the main roster, but his heart was with AEW. So no, I think he was pretty much done with NXT before 2.0. Michael Cole is trending on Twitter. Why? Why is he trending on Twitter? I have to have the sound down, so I never hear what the commentators are saying. What has Michael Cole done? Let's go to trending. SmackDown is number 1. Number 1. Tony Storm and Corbin. I can't see Michael Cole. Which Viking Raiders are number 19. The Viking Raiders are number 19. Is that because they're flipping been doing this? Mm. 18 minutes we've got. Do you prefer heel Sammy or face Sammy? I don't mind either, to be honest, bud. I think that Sammy is a great talent that can do either. I think he's really, really good at either. I think he's a very versatile performer. So he's great. I really rate Sammy. I think if he's a heel, he does a great job. Like, this whole conspiracy stuff has been brilliant. The documentary and all that was entertaining. So I think that was absolutely fine. So I don't mind him as that. And then equally as a face, I think he's brilliant. He was great in NXT. You know, the underdog from the underground, really rooting for him. So, right, we've got Charlotte versus Tony next week, so that'll get spoiled. There's going to be no way of avoiding that. If there is going to be a new women's champ, we're going to find out, because that's is going to get recorded straight after. Damn it, that's a shame, innit? That's a shame. I think wasn't it last year? Was it last year or the year before? I remember Big E winning the IC title at Christmas. So there's got to be a chance that Tony Storm wins on Christmas Eve. It's got to be a chance. Right. Roman. Bam, bam, bam. What was the bigger surprise? Adam Cole leaving or Kevin Owens staying? Adam Cole leaving was bigger for me. I always thought that he would want to do WrestleMania and just try the main roster. And I thought that, part of the problem is Vince. If Vince doesn't see it in Adam Cole, then, what's he going to do? The door's going to be closed. But the fact Vince had a meeting with Adam Cole kind of meant, wow. Vince is very persuasive. So I kind of thought, well, there's got to be a good chance that he's going to stay. Because he's joined NXT because clearly he hasn't joined NXT because he just wants to stay in NXT. Surely he wants to go to WrestleMania. Surely he wants to be in Royal Rumbles. Surely he wants to give the main roster a go. So I thought that a little, sign a couple of years. Because he can always go to AEW. So I thought a couple of years on the main roster and then maybe AEW after. So I was quite surprised that Adam Cole went. Makes sense. It wasn't a massive shock. It's not the biggest surprise I've ever encountered, but yeah, I fancied him to have a run on the main roster first. Day 1, Roman versus Brock. Dun, dun, dun. Ding-a-ding-a-ding-ding, ding-a-ding-a-ding-ding. Roman making his way up the steps. The tribal chief. See what he's got to say. 15 minutes to go. 15 minutes to go is what we've got. We tend to go to a commercial break soon, so I don't think there's going to be much time. Reigns fears Lesnar sign. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, it's a real shame, and it's a real shame that, like, next week's results are going to be spoiled. I can imagine there'll be a lot of people that will skip next week's show, but we'll be here for it. Right, Roman in the ring. The tribal chump. There's a few Roman hating signs. Now this will be interesting. Roman chants. Acknowledge me. So he's got the microphone. Chicago. Acknowledge me. Yes. Acknowledge him. Acknowledge him, Chicago. Yes. He is the man. There's levels to this game. And this guy is the end boss. I can't say that I'm going to buy a needle mover shirt, but there are loud Roman chants. Oh, what are they giving out? I think that was a popcorn seller that we just saw. Chicago. I don't like it when my cousins lose. Yeah, they've been doing a lot of that since they got with Roman. A lot of it. You know that. We can get through anything. Because we're blood. But you. Smile on the face of Paul. You're not my blood. You're not my blood. Ooh. I can't have people disrespecting me. If you disrespect me, you disrespect our entire family. I'm going to ask you a few questions. Oh, this is good, isn't it? This is good. Can I trust you, wise man? Can I trust you, wise man? Look at Heyman's face. Look at Heyman's face. Yeah. R.I.P. Paul. Last week you seemed a little shady. Let's get this straight. Did you know Brock would return at SummerSlam? Did you know Brock would be at Madison Square Garden? Did you know Brock's suspension was going to be lifted? Does he know? Does he? I actually don't know. I think the better swerve would be if he did. Roman says to the crowd, you're damn right he screwed up. Are you a special counsel? Or are you an advocate? Are you a special counsel? Or are you an advocate? This goddamn storyline is saving this show once again. Let us never forget what we've sat through. Let us never forget. But feed me this. Feed me more of this. Heyman wants a microphone. Roman won't give it him, so Heyman has to go and get it himself from the ringside area. Someone hands it over. Oh, imagine if he turns around and says, an advocate. Bum, bum, ba bum, bum, bum. Oh my god, this is so good. This is so good. Oh, Roman said, before you say anything, I want you to acknowledge me with the truth. Why are you protecting Brock Lesnar from me? I'm protecting. What if he says I'm protecting you from Brock Lesnar? Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And then milking it as well. My tribal chief. He is so good. I'm not protecting Brock Lesnar from you. Help me. Protecting you from Brock Lesnar. Oh, it's all very uncomfortable, isn't it? I love you. I thank you for your honesty. I thank you for all the years of service. Oh, it's like old Yeller's about to get put down. Oh, Superman punch to Heyman! Superman punch to Heyman! Roman! Oh, Superman punch! Is there blood? Is he bleeding? I can't tell if he's bleeding or if it was just a shadow. I think it's just the shadow. I thought he might have got colour. Is there blood? I still can't tell. He's got a chair. He's putting it underneath the head of Heyman. Superman punch. Ah, Brock to the rescue. Brock to the rescue. Dum bum bum. Oh, King Farmer's here. King Farmer. King Farmer! Look at this. Alright, so clever of WWE. Let's book an hour and 40 minutes of absolute trash so that people lose their mind when they give them something good. Oh, look, Brock taking out the Usos. F5. I ain't saving Brock from you. I'm saving you from Brock. Roman Superman punches Paul Heyman. It was amazing. It was brilliant. Michael Cole said Paul Heyman's last words to Roman was, I was protecting you from Brock Lesnar. Lesnar jumps in. Takes some chair shots. He's got Roman up on his shoulders. Oh! F5! F5 to Roman Reigns! Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. The Chicago crowd is on fire right now. Brock standing in the ring. So good. This is so flipping good. Do you know what? It's disgusting. You know, when pro wrestling is done this well, there's just you can't find entertainment as good as this. I mean, like, it's so flipping good. On the edge of your seat, literally just every single flipping second that goes by, you're just lapping it up. You score that show. What do you think of that show? I mean, it's a difficult show to score because for an hour and 40 minutes, it's pretty garbage. The only thing I would say is that it is right. We are going over to AEW. Get in your scores. Get in your scores. What do you think? What do you think? Get in your scores. It was flipping amazing. I loved the ending. Oh my god, it was so good. I still can't stop thinking about it. It was so flipping good. Right. I mean, Brock coming down at the end and, like, saving Paul. So, I really like that. I wonder if they'll be together. I'm guessing they will have them together. I'm guessing they'll have them back. And, you know, it does make things, dare I say, extra interesting. Like, bringing Brock and Paul back together again. I'm really down for that. I'm really down for that. Right, what I want to do is I just want to do a quick little video because I sort of feel like that is a big moment. That is a big... We were talking about how stale this story had gotten, and I think that what we've seen there is we've seen this story actually really move forwards, and it's needed it. It's really, really needed it. I kind of feel like it's been a while since we had, like, some development. And, wow, did we get development. So, yeah, I just want to get this little thing out. And then we'll go straight over to AEW. So, give me a minute. We'll have AEW up in a sec. And we'll jump into the chat. So, SmackDown has just ended, and what a conclusion to SmackDown. One of the most dramatic moments I think WWE has given us. Brilliant moments where Paul Heyman turned around and said, I am not protecting Brock Lesnar from Roman Reigns. I'm protecting Roman Reigns from Brock Lesnar. And with those words, We had Roman, you can see the image on screen, thanking Paul for his service and thanking him for his service to the family. And what comes next is, as I said, one of the more shocking moments that WWE has given us. It's incredible. A Superman punch. Look at that. That is the moment. Roman backs up and delivers a Superman punch to Paul Heyman. Heyman goes down. He's completely out. And Roman is about to then hit a concerto when Brock's music hits. Brock makes the save. And the show ends. You can see Heyman still down. You can see the chair down in the ring as well. But Brock comes down. The king of all the farmers makes his way down, makes the save. And F5s Roman Reigns. This is a big, big development in this story. And it has needed it as well. But, I mean, we are done. Heyman and Roman are done. I can't see any way back for them now after this. He Superman punched Paul Heyman. We're now hopefully going to get some answers as to, you know, has he been working with Brock? Did he know that Brock was going to be at SummerSlam and all of that kind of stuff? Hopefully we get answers on that now. But, yeah, a big change in this story. And it seems like Heyman, I'm guessing, will be back with Brock. Definitely done with Roman and the bloodline, or at least certainly that's how it feels right now after being Superman punched. And, yeah, they have totally got me with this story. I cannot wait to see what comes next. So, beautiful build towards day one. And, honestly, I'm struggling to remember, like, any story having a build this good this year. It's brilliant. This feels like WrestleMania season after tonight. So, absolutely loved it. And you'll have to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. So good. So good. I know that some people might... I don't know. I don't know if some people will still be hating on it. I don't think they will. I mean, what is there to hate on? I mean, it was so well told, and the show was so bad as well. Like, the rest of the show was so bad that when you got something even half decent, it was always going to be enjoyable. The fact we got something that flipping monumental, I think was brilliant. Roman Reigns, Superman punches Paul Heyman. Crazy. Crazy, I tell you. Right. Need to get Dynamite up. We are late going to that. Paul Heyman on WWE Smackdown as Brock Lesnar makes the save. Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Right, I did have Fight TV set up, so I should be able to just go straight over to that, in all fairness. If it'll work. There we go. Okay, so we've got a six-man tag. Six-man tag match. Got Bobby Fish and the Bucks. Is it a 6 or 8 man? Adam Cole making his way into the ring. Dan Lambert again. Yeah, Dan Lambert is on the show. If Heyman has been telling the truth, that brings in some new... Volta, what? He could bring in someone new. I don't know if they'll go that way. I don't know if they'll go that way as bringing in someone new. Oh my god, have we got lag again? Are we getting hit with a bit of lag, are we? Let's change this over. Let's change this background over. What was my score? 6. Probably about 6. I didn't see your score, so I don't know how out I am to you guys, but I was probably around a 4. I mean, like, it needed something big, and that final bit, I'm probably shooting up 2 whole points. I loved it, man. I loved it. I'm sure I'm not alone. But yeah, I can't say that it got it to a 7 or anything. Roman Reigns is on AEW. I don't know. Is this an 8-man? 8-man tag. The ending will look better if Brock doesn't hire Paul. Trey, shout out to you. Weren't you making a poll? I can make a poll. What do you score SmackDown? I can do this. We'll go with 8 to 10. I mean, it's such a great ending. It might have inspired some people to go that high. I mean, for me, I'm at about a 4 going into that main event. And I think what we got was amazing, and it shot it up to about a 6. So that's kind of where I am. But there might be some people that weren't as low as a 4 going into the main event, or there might be some people that think it shoots it up even higher. I don't know, but either way, I flipping loved it. I will not argue with anyone that's going to say that that is an amazing end to the show. Because it is. Okay, they're going picture in picture. Heyman does such a great job as well. He does such a great job. The way that the way he carries himself is brilliant. Austin said the main event raised it to a 5 or a 5.5. I was about a 4 before that. Orange Cassidy is the sloth at the DMV in Zootopia. Maybe Heyman will be written off for a bit. That would make sense, actually, wouldn't it, thinking about it? That would make perfect sense to write Heyman off. Like, why do you want Heyman around? So to write Heyman off would actually make a lot of sense. I couldn't believe he said that to Roman. I knew that was coming, says Anthony. Luke said, ready for Rampage days. Can my daughter and I get a shout-out? Luke, shout-out to you, my friend. Luke and your daughter, ready for Rampage. What's your daughter's name? But Luke and his daughter, shout-out to you guys. I hope you enjoyed the ending for what we just saw. Or maybe you're AEW fans and you're enjoying this, which I'll admit I haven't seen any of yet. But I'm going to get to it. I must admit, this is a bit of a problem for, this is a bit of a problem. Like, they tend to do big stuff at the end of SmackDown, and then it, like, takes me a while to get into Rampage. Nah, they're going to milk an injured Heyman wearing a neck brace, at least until the Roman Brock match. Heyman should come back and align himself with Drew to change him heel to go after the title. Do you know, I mean, what I love about it was last week, my criticism that I had for it was that how do we actually get Heyman out of this? We came up with a few thoughts as to how they might do it. I sort of love the fact he hasn't got out of it. I sort of love the fact that he has been Superman punched. The only thing that I think could be really intriguing is what if it's a ploy? What if he's not working with Brock? And Brock now believes that, you know, he's just saved Heyman. And during the match, Heyman comes down and interferes and costs Brock. And it turns out this was a plan. And it turns out, you know, Roman could be like, wise man, it was a great plan. And I'll always respect you for taking one for the team. Thank you, my tribal chief. Thank you. Like, what if it's all just a plan to throw Brock off? Like, that could be interesting. I don't mind if it isn't, because the segment we just had was amazing, but it still does make me question, where are we going? Where are we going with this? It's still hard to know what the truth is and where we're heading and what's happening, and it's great though, isn't it? It is great. That would be a crazy swerve. What was your score for SmackDown? My score is 10 out of 10 because Brock gave an F5 to Roman. Mine's a 6 because I think I was at about a 4 going into that main event. I thought the show was, the first hour in particular, I thought was really bad. I thought that first hour was a really not a good show. Second hour, not much better. But that main event is brilliant. I'm buzzing about it. Flipping amazing. So yeah, I've got a lot of love for the end of SmackDown tonight. It's one of the best. It's one of the best TV WWE moments of the year. I don't think that's an exaggeration to say that. I think it's one of the best TV WWE moments of the year. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Is Brock actually going to win at day one, do you think? I don't think so. I don't think he'll win it, no. Yeah, no. I don't think he'll win it. I think we're still going to find a way of delaying it. But it's a great build. And it's what, 2 weeks? The excitement's real, man. That feels like a big show. It was a good one, said David J. Brian said 5.75. Hammer Studios says 7. David said, where is Sue? That one segment made the storyline so much better. I agree. Yeah, Austin and I completely agree. I think it was, for me, it wasn't stale. I was still loving it, so I was still right there with it. But yeah, this helps. This definitely helps. This definitely just nicely pushes things along a bit, you know. Are you more of a Roman fan or a Brock fan? Oh, I love them both. I love them both. This is a dream story for me. I mean, I love Brock because he's legit. He's everything I love in wrestling, you know. He's hard hitting. He's legit. He's a problem. He's book strong. I've got no problems with him being book strong. So I love, I love everything about Brock. But then what they've done with Roman since he turned heel has been some of the best stuff I've ever seen. So yeah, I love this story. I don't want Brock to be the one to beat Roman. No, he doesn't need it. So I suppose I'll be rooting for Roman. I'm rooting for Roman because I don't want Brock to be that one that benefits. He doesn't need it. He's beaten the Undertaker's streak. He's already won world titles. He absolutely does not need to be the person to beat Brock. I can't take the poll seriously. 8 to 10 in first. Only if you watch that last 15 minutes. It does skew things. I mean, there's no denying it. that ending, I think, definitely skews things. But either way, man, you know, I'm just glad people enjoyed it. You don't want to watch any wrestling show and hate it, do you? The fact that they've been able to pull the cat out the bag right at the end like that, that's a hell of a magic trick. Daisy, you excited for Wrestle Kingdom? I don't know if I'll get a chance to watch it. I mean, I've watched it every year, but since the New Japan copyright stuff, I just haven't. I had plans on doing loads of streams for it and doing loads of streams. I might not even get a chance to watch it. Imagine the poll result if we didn't get that segment. Hammer Studio said, I hate to say it, but I loved when Roman Superman punched Paul Heyman. Right, Orange Cassidy and Best Friends have been victorious here. Yeah, so good. Heyman is going to Saskatchewan, Canada. Justin said, good match on AEW. Fish with a Falcon Arrow. Okay. Dan Lambert returns next. So we're going to hear from Dan Lambert next. That'll please the people. So Dan Lambert next. Dan Lambert. So good, wasn't it? So good. I can't stop thinking about it. Best friends pull out the win, says Heather. Ledge Killer says 6 out of 10 for SmackDown. Have you fallen out of love with NWA? I haven't fallen out of love. I just don't watch it anymore. I mean, it went behind that paywall. So it went behind the paywall. It meant that a lot of people that joined us for the watch-alongs weren't. I just wasn't getting those people kind of really contacting me. I mean, honestly, no one was asking for it, and we were doing watch-alongs for it, and the obviously the ratings were low, the viewers were low, and it just kind of felt like, well, they're doing what they've got to do, and I just, it didn't feel like the community was really following them. And actually, I mean, look what they're doing now. Now they're going onto YouTube with a show which sort of says, you know, we know that we need to connect with people again. So I kind of feel like they did what they had to do. I certainly don't judge them for it. I don't hate them for it or anything. I haven't fallen out of love with them for doing that. I get it, but it definitely alienated people, and it was definitely a move that put a barrier up, well, a paywall up. And so that's, it's, you know, things moved on. The problem they've got is there is so much wrestling. I mean, we've got WWE, we've got AEW, there's so much wrestling that if you're going to go behind a paywall like that, and it wasn't much money in all fairness, it's a barrier that's just not needed. In 2021, there's so much wrestling and so much competition that, I thought that was a problem for them. And, like, when I was watching, there was no crowd. So the crowd were always a big part of NWA. So there was just a few things with it. So we stopped kind of doing the watch-alongs, and I've had next to no one asking for them. So I don't know. I don't know what the future holds with all of that, to be honest. Ronnie said WWE did that on purpose, knowing that Rampage was coming on. Sneaky Nick Khan. Minty said, sorry for being late. I heard I missed a good SmackDown ending. Yeah, it was good, dude. It was good. The Coog said, Dan Lambert is back. Expect the heat and the booze to rain down. Don't know why people got a problem with paying for it. To have to pay for AEW and NWA is cheaper. Well, to be honest, you don't pay for AEW, do you? I mean, you do in the UK, but I don't know how many people are staying up in the UK. Certainly in our community, it's a lot more people in like the US, and in the US, like it's just on TNT AEW. So there's not that paywall for the people in the US. So I think it was more to do with like where this community is. Like most of this community is based in America and Canada. So it just affected it. Right, let's see what Lambert's got to say, shall we? Why does everyone suck up to Tony? A-hole chance. Okay. He's just going off on Tony. Is this going to build to a match between Tony and Dan Lambert? Does Tony want a match? Who the hell is Dan Lambert? Is the boss of American Top Team? Are you streaming Sora Parker? No. Lambert is speaking facts, says 1987 Big Fam. Coog says, boos are raining down in Dallas. Ronnie said, I would be interested in a Brock Bobby Lashley story. Suit versus Farmer. He's having a pop at Cody. Is it Cody now? Oh, I hope the boos ray down. I hope he gets louder boos than Dan Lambert. They're so desperate for him to be a face. Let's just get him out there with Lambert. Just get him out there. No one likes Lambert. Let's just go with that. There is a chance that Cody gets cheers here. But it's only a very small chance. Here's Cody. the fight TV chat are booing. Boo! Boo! No weight belt, by the way. No weight belt for Cody. Boo! It's become a meme now to just boo him. You suck! You suck! You suck! You suck! Someone's got a sign that says heel Cody equals ratings. Heel Cody equals ratings. Cody's in the ring. What if Cody goes, I agree, and he joins up with Dan Lambert? Whew. Whew. Snatches the microphone away. Dan Lambert snatches it back. Cody snatches it back. Cody. Dan Lambert snatches it back. And Cody snatches it back. After all of that, he doesn't say anything. He starts trying to beat up Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. Here's Dustin. Do we see Sammy come out to complicate things since Lambert's guys were after the TNT titles? Dustin's got Lambert. Oh. They should start shouting Stardust, 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 Stardust. That would be great, yeah. That would be great. I'd be down for that. Let's go Stardust. Let's go Stardust. Dustin Rhodes. Battle for the mic. Right. Let's get rid of the poll. What do you score SmackDown? 8 to 10, 36%. 7 to 775, 23%. 6 to 675, 22%. 575 or below, 16%. And that was nearly 250 votes. Don't forget, SmackDown, next week's SmackDown is being recorded right now. So that means that there are probably spoilers that are going to start doing the rounds because we are half an hour in. So half an hour into next week's show being recorded. And there's no commercial breaks. So they put them in after, I think. So next week's show will be recorded in about an hour and 20 minutes, I think. Right, we are just moving past that. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. They take out Cody and his brother, and then Sammy alone saves the day. Makes sense. Daze, do you have your real Christmas tree? I know that you're going to say that one in the corner. We've got one upstairs. I don't have one. I'm not bothered. I'm not really a Christmassy person, to be perfectly truthful. I used to be when I was young, of course, but as you get older, I don't know. As I've got older, I've cared about Christmas less. The only thing I want from Christmas is some nice food, maybe a drink, and a day off. That's it. Once you get older and you become a boomer, I think you just naturally become more boring. And that's exactly what I've become. So I'm excited for the kids out there that are getting presents off Santa. But, yeah, there's nothing I want either. There's nothing I want, which is quite good, actually. It's a nice place to be, not wanting anything for Christmas. Just literally that's it. Some nice food, something to drink, day off. Oh, beautiful. That'll do me to a T. So we do have a tree, but it's just upstairs. Tori said, I agree. Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. When you're young, you're like, oh, I want this and I want that and I want this and I want that. And then as you get older, I don't know. I mean, like as I've gotten older, I've just kind of got, I don't know, just less into like things. I just don't need things. Even with like the figures, I've stopped like during the pandemic. I just don't get the figures anymore. It's not that I've fallen out of love with the figures or anything like that, but it's just, I don't know. There's just so many of them that come out that I think like I'm just going to be more selective, and I'm just, you know, I definitely want that Hulk Hogan that we looked at earlier. I do definitely want that. But I definitely don't need like every figure that's made or a figure of every wrestler or anything like this. I mean, I must admit, I look at like my Nia Jax figure now, or I look at like some of the people that have been released, and I'm like, I just don't need that. I mean, what did Nia Jax really achieve? Do I need a spot on my shelf dedicated to Nia Jax? I don't, do I? I don't. I don't. So, like, do I need Bella figures? Do I need a Emelina figure? Do I need a Tamina figure? Do I? Do I need, for the rest of my life, a little shelf space given over to Tamina? I don't think I do. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm getting older. I'm a boomer. And I'm all right with it as well. I'm all right with it. I think being selective with what figures you get, I actually think it's probably a good thing. I can attest to that. My mother-in-law keeps nagging me about presents, and there is nothing I want except maybe a Sheeta figure. It's nice. If it's the Sheeta figure I saw on that toy hunt, it's lovely. Yeah. I do quite fancy getting a couple of those with the belts. I am a belt person, so the ones with belts would definitely get my attention. And that Sheeta one comes with the women's belt. Look good. Yeah, I mean, do you know what? If you are at the point in life where it's Christmas and there's nothing you want, then you are a very, very rich person. You are someone that... I don't mean that, like, financially, but I mean just in life. To get to the point where there's just nothing you really want, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. That is something that I'm really pleased about. I'm really pleased. I'm pleased that there's nothing that I really, really want. Just want to have a day off, some food, drink. That's brilliant. I mean, yes, Christmas is for kids. It's for the youngsters. And, you know, some teenagers, whatnot. But I think once you start getting into, like, your 20s and beyond... Because don't forget, I am 21. I think then, like... Hang on. Yeah, it's bad. I can only hope it's not going to do this tomorrow, because when we're doing that Jake Paul flipping stream, I don't need this malarkey. So hopefully we don't get these problems. So it's not like us to get lagged like this. Glitch, yeah, it is a bit laggy. It's nothing I can do, to be honest. Why don't you want something? That is when giving is important. When you don't want something, that's when giving is important. I agree with that. Yep. Santa didn't like days it's in Christmas. BS, Christmas is me or me. I get all the presents and the toys. Screw you, kids. At least you have a quality camera this time. Can't wait for Duke Hudson versus Tyron Woodley. Yeah. He did have that hair, didn't he? That'll be good tomorrow. Daisy, are you on the naughty list? Always. Okay, so we've got Anna Jay at ringside. Ty Conti back in the corner. Gets her knees up. Looking for a triangle. Penelope is tying up the legs of Ty. She's throwing in a few back elbows to Penelope Fords. We've got 24 minutes to go. What did you rate SmackDown? I gave it a 6. Where's the 10s in? Right there, bud. Right there. Just one on the sideline. This is a submission match. I'm watching Spider-Man movie tomorrow, says Frenchie. Have fun. Give all the toys to the little rich boys, says Gary. Days, I know what figures you need. You need Glock Anderson. Totes. Ford is climbing up. She's got Penelope Ford. Ty Conti's climbing up. She's got Penelope Ford in a headlock. 23 minutes to go. We've got 23 minutes left to go. Flipping love the end of SmackDown tonight. I'm still thinking about that. Nice submission hold here by Penelope Ford. Backbreaker by Penelope Ford. Days, who WWE... can't remember, but... Tori said, I just want beer for Christmas. Melissa said, latest new movie I saw on DVD, Space Jam, A New Legacy. LeBron James was awesome. I haven't seen it. Do you know, I've never seen the original Space Jam. I haven't seen the original Space Jam. I must admit, I was never... I mean, it was a weird one because it was everywhere, but I was never really into it. Like, I was never into basketball as a kid. So, it was in the cinemas. Had a bit of a push, but I wasn't bothered. Lag again, is it? No, it's all right. Gary said, I'll take a submission match, me against Sasha Banks. Austin sleeping in, says William. Right, we've got Ty on her feet. Nice kick by Penelope Ford. Against the ropes goes Ford. Nice submission hold. She's got the leg around the back of the neck. That was nice. That's good submission hold by Ty Conti. Right, Ty Conti wins. Penelope Ford's looking good there, says the Coog. William said, out of the fireplace in a flash. Come okay, William. Penelope Ford out the ring. Is that Anna Jay with the chair? We've got Penelope Ford and the bunny. Nice finish to that. Okay, I don't know what our main event is tonight. Owen Hart, women's and men's tournaments. Not a fan of that. Hook has got a match against Bear Bronson. So Hook has got a match against Bear Bronson. I love that AEW has included the women. King of Hearts 10-man tag is the main event. Oh. Did we have a team? So we've had an 8-man tag to start the show, and now we've got a 10-man tag to close it. Okay. 10-man tag. 10-man. 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 10-man tag. 10-mar tag. 10-man tag. Hook will save Christmas. We're still talking whilst Daisy's trying to fix the lag. Have we had some more, have we? Okay. 18 minutes. Lucha Bros, Eddie Kingston, Santana and Ortiz versus Daniel Garcia 2.0 and The Acclaimed. Listen to William. Well, that's dangerous, isn't it? I don't know if that's good advice ever. This show sucks. I'm out. I'm going to give out coal for Christmas. Hook is going to lock in the Kata Hajime on Bear Bronson. What's that? Hook is better than Fiend. I blame Daisy's rats. Could be. Could be the rats having a little nibble of the cable. To heal. See you later, dude. 17 minutes to go. Mark Henry must really love this job. It's a great job, isn't it? Just has to do a little thing at the end of... I should imagine he's doing some stuff backstage, but he just does a little thing in the corner. Little intro for the main event. That's him done. Thanks a lot for coming. Time for the main event. Indeed it is. Frenchie says, tell Mama Days I said hi. No. Do you leave out milk and cookies for Santa? No. Wyndham should brainwash Hook and make him his attack dog. He does some dark announcing. Yeah, but if no one watches it, does it actually ever happen? That's the question. That's the question. If no one's there to watch it, does he do announcing? Does he? I'm a Muslim. Greetings, tolerance. I like WWE. Game MSB. Shout out to you, my friend. I'm sure you enjoyed the ending of Smackdown then. Can I just say I'm stunned that there's no Smackdown spoilers? Like, I thought there'd be people jumping in all the time going, this has happened, that's happened. Yeah, there hasn't been anything that I've seen. I mean, I probably am going to try and avoid them, but I won't be able to avoid them. Stuff in the days. I've added up 2,144 videos. The separate times are now 140 hours, 23,268 minutes, 32,506 seconds. I'm aiming to get it all done by next Wednesday. Madness, my friend. Dark and Elevation aren't even that good. It is just squash matches, says James. Everyone's focused on Spider-Man. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Does whatever a Spider-Man can. I saw the new Spider-Man film earlier today. It was rubbish. It was rubbish. It was a load of rubbish. It was the biggest load of rubbish I've ever seen. And I was watching it, and there was loads of things that everyone's missed. There was loads of this really in-depth stuff that no one's talking about, and only I noticed. And I noticed it. There's something massive that happens in the first 5 minutes, and no one spoke about it. I spotted it straight away. I was like, oh my god, that calls back to issue 179. And everyone was just sat there like, didn't even notice. So, yeah, I watched it, and it was a load of rubbish. And there's loads of Spider-Men in it. And I thought the ending sucked. You know the ending? Sucked. And you know the beginning? Sucked. And you know the middle bit? It was alright, actually. The middle bit was alright. It was just the start and the end that really sucked. And the jokes were like they'd been written by Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin. So, I'm just saying. I'm only here for this stream. I'm not watching the show. There's a fan in the crowd wearing a Spider-Man shirt. William said, who cares? Real spiders are better than Spider-Man. Days, no, you're giving things that are real away. What, the fact it sucked? Dude, how can I give things that are real away? How can I give things that are real away when I've, spoiler, not seen the film, not read any reviews, not seen any spoilers? How can... You're ruining the film! Stop saying it sucks, you're ruining the film! Strikes coming in by the Acclaimed. The crowd is more entertaining than most wrestling events. Days really did see the movie. I did, dude. I saw it, yeah. I saw the film. I don't want to do spoilers. I don't want to do spoilers. I'm just going to say... Doctor Strange is in it. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm saying for now. I ain't saying no more. I ain't saying no more. And Zendaya. Zendaya's in it as well. But I'm not saying any more than that. I'm not saying any more. Mainly because I can't. Days, they've started kicking people out for filming and taking pictures. Dude, I recorded the whole thing. I've put it up on my MySpace page. So, if you want to check it out, go to Cutie Pie at MySpace. And you'll be able to watch the whole film. And I give my thoughts on it as well. And I point out all the Easter eggs. It's brilliant. So far, it's got 1 billion views. High kick by the Lucha Brothers. Doctor Strange's role in the movie is super small. I didn't say he was in it for long, did I? I didn't, did I? I said he's in it. Wait, what? MySpace is still a thing. Yeah. I don't care for Zendaya. Wow, you should hear what she says about you, Austin. That's all I'm going to say. Retribution, hello, said Zendaya is my crush. She is such a queen. I'm so jealous of Tom Holland for being with her in real life after filming Spider-Man together. Knee strike. Tag. Spoiler, Roman Reigns, Superman punched Spider-Man. I got a few DVDs that you can see the row in front heads. One guy even gets up and walks past. Heather says, no more Spider-Man talk. End it. Nice, Oh, are you going to pitch? Are you in picture in picture? Are you in pick and pick? I downloaded the new Spider-Man movie off Napster. That's it. Good man. Good man. Right, we've got Santana and Ortiz in control. Vince gives Peter Parker the pencil in the film to save the day. You want DVD? Yes. Doofed. That was great, wasn't it? Phone jacker. That was great. Days, you are the next Spider-Man. Don't ruin the film. J14 said, back, I managed to score an Elite 87, Strowman and Escobar. Let him in says Zendaya is a goddess. 14 Roman, Superman punched Paul. Yeah, dramatic. 8 minutes left in this match. We've got the Acclaimed in there. Days, what show does better for your streams? Ranking Rise, Dynamite or NXT? Dynamite will do not much difference anymore, to be honest. Dynamite used to get about 8. Now it gets about 6. And sometimes does even less than that. Sometimes does 5. NXT does about 5. Yeah. Neither of them are Raw or SmackDown. And that's no disrespect. Blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, there's a lot more people that join us for Raw and SmackDown than do for Dynamite or NXT. 14 SmackDown was bad except for the main event. It was. How was SmackDown? How's Rampage? Rampage, hard for me to judge because I missed the first match, really. Because we were buzzing about what happened at SmackDown. Middle match was a bit flat, but I like the end. This match, I don't really give a flip. I like Kingston. It's just a multi-person match, innit, you know? Everyone's brawling on the outside of the ring. Someone shouted, Max can't rap. I don't know, was that someone from the crowd that shouted Max can't rap? Against the ropes, Ortiz rolls back, looking for a double. Cutter, no joy. Nice. Moonsault. Someone just yelled, Max can't rap. And it sounded like it came from the crowd. Max can't rap. Backbreaker. AEW is like Man City. No matter how good they are, they'll never be the WWE in ratings or TV deals. What happens now with Roman after he punched Paul? Gonna have to wait and see, aren't we? Gonna have to wait and see. England 17 for 2. They're doing all right at the moment. Plays resumed. And they've managed to add to that a little bit. I think they got to 33 now for 2. 34 for 2. England just need to get 439 to get even. Just 439 to get level with Australia. So not bad. We're doing all right. Should get there by about 2 weeks' time, I'd imagine. Did you hear that Hook overtook Punk for... I did, yeah, I did. Is this the main event? This is the main event. We've only got 4 minutes left. Kingston pulled out the ring. Got the Lucha Bros. Santana and Ortiz and the Lucha Bros had belters back in the day. Mike said, is this a tag match? It's just a big brawl. Well, look, I don't think this is a classic Rampage, but doesn't matter. We've got some big dynamites coming up. And Tony Khan has been talking about some surprises, so there's every chance we get something by the end of the year, surprise-wise. Seeing Kingston and Garcia. Back elbow misses. Garcia rolls up Kingston. Oof, I thought that was a 3, you know. Yeah? Was that meant to happen? Was that meant to happen, do you reckon? Were they meant to win? I wonder if that was a botch. It was roller. It was like 1, 2, and then he does kick out. But I think the ref had counted the 3. It was because of time. Daisy, ending to SmackDown can't make me focus on Rampage properly. It was amazing, wasn't it? Botcharooney. That was a 2. Kyle O'Reilly is defo next week, says Heather. Right. Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, Christian Cage come down. Beating up people. Big kick by Luchasaurus. Jungle Boy goes over and he grabs the AEW tag titles. And he gives them to Lucha Bros. So there seems to be a challenge here by Jurassic Express. Okay. So it looks like those two teams going at it. Yes, give the belts to Jungle Express. Jungle Express. Jungle Express? Is Christian part of Jurassic Express now? Sure. He does seem to be hanging around with them, doesn't he? I don't know if that is Christian or if it's just Marco Stunt has shut up. Christian is the new Marco Stunt. Well, there we go then, guys. There we go. I don't think there's much point reviewing Rampage. I mean, you can if you want to. But I don't think there's much point. End of SmackDown was amazing. Rampage was, in my opinion, not a great episode. But Dynamite. Dynamite on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to it. I think that is going to be... I think Dynamite's going to still be worth watching. I don't think that AEW are going to just now drift. Do you know what I mean? I think that I think they'll have some stuff for us. And as Heather said, you know, maybe Kyle O'Reilly is on the way. So, guys, boom. We're done. I really appreciate the support. Appreciate everyone joining us. Don't forget, tomorrow, we are back tomorrow with a massive monster stream. Absolutely huge. Make sure that you're joining us tomorrow because that's Jake Paul stream. I mean, we do UFC, then we'll go into the Jake Paul fight. That starts at 9. So we do have football on football days just before that, but lots going on tomorrow. And that is the last big stream of the year. So appreciate the support. I'll see you tomorrow for a very big day. And yeah, well, I mean, what do you say? What an amazing ending to SmackDown. That's still playing in my mind. So awesome, guys. Bye for now.